Today's founder, Mr. Subhash. So he's an experienced entrepreneur and a competent professional who is driving for constant improvement and adheres to be ambitious, humble, and adaptive. Subhash has over 6 years of full-time experience in the field of client relations, account management, business analytics, and international business development. He is also a co-founder of marketing at Trinos Event Management, a Bangalore-based and a Falun-based company. Subhash has done his MBA in marketing from University of Mysore, Bangalore, and masters in entrepreneurship from University of Uppsala, Sweden. So thank you, Subhash, for being here, and we'll start by sharing your journey with the this company and how this idea came into your mind.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, since we have little time, so I was also wanted to share with you guys key learnings from my previous experience, from my childhood experience, what I took during my journey to and how I incorporated to my entrepreneurial journey.
Sure.
Before I start, I would like to thank you, Kapil, and the entire team for giving me this opportunity to share my experience. And I am coming to you live from Sweden. It's -1 degree Celsius outside, very cold and dark, and 6:30 in the morning. Very excited to be here, sharing this experience with you guys. So to start off with, there's always a debate which says, are the leaders born or the leaders made? And I always believe that anybody can be a leader by learning from their experience. So in this session, I would like to divide into two parts. As I said before, I would like to share some key learnings from my upbringing, and also on the other side, I would like to show you a small presentation, and like Kapil said, to share my entrepreneurial experience, how my idea came about, what are the key learnings which I learned during my entrepreneurial journey. And in this session, I would like it to be interactive, even though we are very handful of them. I mean, if you have any questions during the sessions, please feel free to write it in chat, and Kapil, you can bring to my notice anytime. So feel free to stop me anytime in the middle. So I won't hesitate to answer your questions. So I was born and raised in a very small village outside Bangalore, and called Machohalli, and I did my schooling from Kendriya Vidyalaya. Thanks to my father, since he was in the army, we got into Kendriya Vidyalaya and study for very, very cheap. And during my schooling days, we learned this term called jugaad, and I'm sure every one of you, if you understand Hindi, learn this word jugaad. And jugaad in a managerial term is nothing but problem solving. Um, uh, Knowing a small whatever things you have and making a great output out of that is something which I learned in my school days. And during my school days, I was very active in music, and that is one thing. Rhythm always attracted me, so I got into drums and percussions instrument, and to enhance my creative side of my brain. And we were very, very active in participating in various intra-school and inter-school musical and social science exhibition. During my school days, I learned a very important lesson during my basketball match, where I was playing. I was very good at basketball, and since it was one of the good days for me as a player, and I started. All the audience were behind me, and they were always cheering whatever I did in my basketball court. So it so happened that being very young teenager, about 15, 16 year old, for 13, 14 year old, I got overwhelmed with it, and I started playing for the crowd, actually. So I stopped. I wanted to overwhelm the crowd, and as and when I did that, I knew that all my game was getting spoiled, because I was no more playing for the team. I was playing for the crowd. And my coach, he immediately substituted me, and he was so fuming and so angry, and he said, you're not doing that. Then I asked him, I was so angry, fuming, because I was one of the best fives in the team, and I was just taken off. And then he said that, you know what, you were playing for the audience, you were not playing for the team. This is what you are supposed to do. And during entrepreneurial journey, and this is what happens to us, we got carried, we kind of get carried away sometimes, because so many external factors which comes into play. It could be any time of the journey where we are in. It could be getting lost in technology, what we are coming up with. It could be some kind of validation, or it could be any kind of seminar which we attend, and we say, oh, this is a thing which we got to do, and then we forget what is our plan A, and then move and get carried away with other things. Oh, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. So that was the main key. And whenever this happens to me, and I always remember my coach face comes to my mind, and I say, okay, now I need to get back to what I was doing, that is back to basics, what I was here for. After my schooling, I did my hotel management from Bangalore. And during my hotel management experience, I learned three most important aspects. One is, we always used to hear, you need to wow the guest. I was like, what is that? You need to always wow the guest. Wow the guest meant that you should do in Hindi, if I literally translate. And please, in the chat, if you don't understand Hindi, you can write to me, and I can then I can only keep it in English. But in Hindi, they say that choti choti khushiyan, which meant that you need to do something which adds a little value or little smile to your guest, and that is wowing the guest. Simple gesture, wishing them wherever you meet, remembering their second name and addressing them with your second name, saying hello, Mr. Padke, how are you doing? Hello, Mr. Chandra, how are you doing? Hello, Mr. Srinivas, how are you doing? That added value, saying that everybody in this hotel remembers my name. If there was a break, if any guest celebrated their birthday, wishing them happy birthday or anniversary. I mean, that is how the entire team worked, from front office to a person in restaurant. Everybody knew their birthday, and that is something which I learned, wowing the guest. So you don't have to do fancy things for your customer. A small little experience, a small little email saying that, hey, thank you so much, you mean a lot to me. It cannot be even customer, any stakeholder whom you have who has helped you to with your entrepreneurial journey, writing to them, saying thank you so much, we have learned a lot from you, or thank you so much that you have supported us during our journey. So that is one of the lessons which I learned, which is wowing the guest. And the second thing, which very important, which I learned, was being proactive. Proactive meaning is always being one step ahead. In hospitality language, we use exceeding guest expectation. If the guest expectation is here, do something which exceeds all of them, and saying that, wow, I mean, these guys really know what they're doing. And that could mean if you know that a guest really likes vegetarian, offering them the best vegetarian in the dish, or calling the best vegetarian chef in the restaurant and make him greet, rather than you as a waiter standing there and greet. So you as a waiter can take that step, a proactive step, saying that, calling the best vegetarian chef, saying that, hey chef, please come and meet Mr. Gupta or Mr. Sharma. They love vegetarian, and it will be amazing that if you meet them. I mean, these are the small things which always stuck in my mind, and I utilize that in entrepreneurial journey. For example, I always believe that my entire team should always be proactive and think what could be next. In other words, also plan A, B, C. Like, if this plan doesn't fall right, what is your plan B? What is your plan C? So being proactive and channelizing all these plans. And the third thing, most important thing, which I learned in hotel management, was it's always important to know what is your subordinate doing. So I would want to share a small story with you. When I was working with one of the best hotels in Bangalore, during my internship, I was asked to work in kitchen stewarding. Now, kitchen stewarding is a department where you have to wash all the used vessels which has been used in either lunch or dinner. So I was very young, and they said, "Okay, Subassh, roll up your sleeves and go." And there are about 20 kadais, about 30, 40 big vessels, and a lot of baking equipments. Start get going. This is your pressure pump. This is the scrubber. This is what you got to do, and use hot water. I was furious. I was like, my dad has paid close to $500,000 for me to study in this university, and they're making me to do this thing. I was fuming. I was throwing all the vessels, least interested, least bothered. I was like, this is not where I have to be. I have to change my life. Lot of emotions, lot of anger was gushing in my mind. But I learned a very big lesson there. One of the colleagues who just passed by me, and he saw me that this guy doesn't look in a good shape. He stopped by. He's like, "Hey, what's happening? Why are you so fuming?" I was like, "My father didn't send me to do this. I was not signed up for this. I don't want to wash this car. I don't want to do this." Then he said, if you want to become a leader, if you want to manage, if you want to become a manager, you should realize what it takes to do this kind of job. If you don't know how it feels to wash a kadai, and tomorrow if you become a restaurant manager or an entrepreneur, and then you give your subordinate the path without you knowing exactly how it works in the ground reality, how will you manage those guys? And everything changed my mind. And I chunk out that entire kadai, and people started loving me. The kind of cleaning I did after all the vessels, I took everything. And that was a very, very important lesson I learned during that phase, that no job is a small job. And as an entrepreneur, you should be ready to roll up your sleeves and do every process in your, let it be standing outside in a school or college or a corporate thing to validate your idea. Let it be talking to anybody, going out there and talking to everybody. You know what, this is the technology which I'm planning to come up with, or this is the product which I want to talk about it. Would you be interested in talking to me? So you should do every process. You should be involved in each and every process in your entrepreneurial journey. Because end of the day, if you don't know your journey, if you don't know how it feels to go out there, speak to your customer, or go out there validating your idea, or go and involve yourself in building your products or building your technology, you will have no idea how to manage them. Since you would know, since you have done all this groundwork, so you can always go back saying that, you know what, I did this, I understand, and I feel exactly what you, I can really feel you. So you will become a efficient leader or a better entrepreneur. So after my hotel management, I worked in the hotels where I learned all these three factors, um, and which I always carried in my entrepreneurial journey. And during working, and that's why I got attracted to MBA. I got attracted to marketing, and I always wanted to go back to drawing board. When I say I want to go back to drawing board, which means going back to basics, going back to studies, going back to reading. So I always recommend my fellow colleagues or anywhere I meet, go back to basics. Just read up some books. Just go back and read. Maybe that will give you a lot of ideas. So I wanted to go back and prove myself. So I went back and did my MBA in marketing. And during my MBA journey, that's why I realized that I think I can become an entrepreneur because of all the experience what I got and all the knowledge which I incorporated during my MBA. And that's when I had this idea called Trions, which Kapil just mentioned in my brief introduction. So that's why I got to know the term social entrepreneurship. So there is something called social entrepreneurship, where you can do good to the society uh, and also earn some money out of it. So that the concept of social entrepreneurs excited me because I was always a social activist. I always supported a lot of causes during my school days, my hotel management days, and my MBA days. So this was brilliant, and my passion, my passion was with music. So we curated this organization curated shows and shows where we upbring tribal musicians to a mainstream musicians, where we give them opportunity to create their art and music into mainstream, and they can learn and earn at the same time with their music which they have been practicing for their lifetime, and it is as as vintage as it gets, because these tribal music was about 1,000-year-old music tradition which they have been learning from their grandparents, then parents. So that is what we got to do. And a couple of key learnings from me during that phases was, one was, we started saying that okay, this is a social entrepreneurship, and we got into registering an NGO and started running an NGO. And for me as a business, as a it was a very relieving experience. It was very joyful experience, because we could be volunteer organization, we could do many things, but at the same time it never paid any bills. It never bought any food for me on the table. I was always struggling to meet the ends in this process. So this was the thing which I learned. And my co-founder there, we had a big fallout, and the only reason is because of this, because I was more into management thought. I was more into creating an impact. Plus, you need to take care of yourself, and then you got to take care of the society. But my other co-founder, his vision was that he would want to do good to society. He was very happy with whatever he got at the end of the day. So that was very, very important learning, saying that okay, you can be doing only social work, which is not bad at all, but end of the day that will not pay your bills, or it may pay your bills, but throw away all your social life. At least to me, with my experience. Can I would have been done this better? Yeah, maybe. But that was the learning which I learned. And then we were successful for running this organization for 4-5 years, and then we had fallout because of this crucial thing. Even though we did projects in India and also in Sweden, but end of the day it didn't meet the ends. So that's when I thought, okay, I need to do something that which will create an impact, which will create an impact, which will have a social awareness, which will bring a value to my customers, who would be ready to pay for this impact or a value which we bring in, and then also parallelly make money. So that's how I got into this idea called Arya and the Life, which I'm working currently right now in Sweden. And so I would like to share a small presentation with you. And if you guys, I highly recommend, if you have any questions during this session, feel free to put it in the chat, write to me, ask me. I'll be more than happy to answer these questions, whatever you ask. Cool. So I'm sharing my screen, and so that. Oh, I think Kapil, you need to give me permission to share my screen.
Yeah. Shiva sir?
Do you see my screen?
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so Arya is very, very important for me, because as Kapil said in the introduction, that we make sustainable biodegradable food disposables from naturally fallen leaves. These are betel nut leaves, which is very common in my part of the world. In Karnataka, Karnataka produces about 47% of entire India's production of these things, and it is very deeply imbibed in not only in Karnataka's culture, but I think in all over India's culture. The betel nut, or the betel nut, which is the fruit which the tree produces. It is consumed in all over India. So I grew up in this farm in Karnataka, and I worked with this very, very closely. And with my previous startup Trions, we used to invite a lot of Swedish musicians, and I happened to in one of the lunches we happened to serve them with this plates, which is made from areca nut, which is which is very common in India, very common in Karnataka at least. And they were they were so mesmerized, saying that what is this? And I told them this is the leaf. They said, no way, this cannot be a leaf. I said, yes, this is a leaf. They said, this is what they need. This is what the Western world need, because we are fed up of plastic, which is spoiling ocean, which is spoiling our Mother Earth. And that's when the idea triggered me. And the idea triggered me with the validation from a European market, saying that, okay, this is what they need. So from that time, I this idea started to come to my mind, and I started working with this. So during this process, how was my thought process, and what are the things which I used, tools which I used, and I would like to share that with you. And yeah, first thing first is, once I got the small validation from this musicians from Sweden, they're saying that, this is what we need, the Western world need. I went on to do a lot of reading. What are the trends in these kind of sector, in food sector? Why did she say that this could be something in Sweden, something could be in European market. So when I started looking at trends, I started reading about a lot of big players, like IKEA, like IKEA. They're one of the big giants. Walmart's, they were one of the big giants in FMCG and food sector. Big hotel chains, European-based hotel chains. What are they doing to keep the environment? And then I got to learn so much that then I got to learn that in 2021, European Union is stopping single-use plastic, and which will be banned in the face of Europe. And that for me was gold. That was for me was gold. Okay, then it is the right time to start working on this product, because sooner or later, even though the customers whom you think are the customers are starting are ignoring your products at the first place, but the government rule will force them to look for other alternatives to plastic or paper. Because when I did more research, I got to know that paper is also not sustainable, because paper to produce paper you have to deforest, and about half a million forest land disappear every week in Europe. I mean, this is the mind-boggling facts which I got once I was learning about trends. And then I'm sure you all are aware, or if you're not aware, I highly recommend you to Google the golden circle and watch Simon Sinek video on explaining what is this golden circle is. And I always use this whenever I work with my idea. And I always start with why. Why do I need to do this? Why it is important to me and my team? And I always recommend my fellow entrepreneurs and fellow entrepreneurial co-founding team to do this exercise. If you have not done it, I would highly recommend you to do this exercise, where you sit down and lock yourself for 15 minutes with your own personal space, and write down why you want to do it, how you want to do it, and what you want to do it. Always start with why, and then start comparing with each other and see what brings what is a common factor which is tagging you all, co-founding team, or you alone as a founder of your startup. And this is my mechanism, very simply. What I do is first I learn, then I build, and then I measure. That means I started with this my company called Arya. Then I learned from the validation which I got from what I learned from the trends which I read, and the validation which I got from this musician who came and gave me this idea, and I started building on it. When I started building on it, I chose food packaging, because that's the cash cow. And I think plates and takeaway boxes could be something, because that was the biggest culprit in the plastic waste production when it comes to single-use plastic. So that's when we thought, okay, we need to build these things and then go back and measure it, meaning validate it with people, with random people on the street, or with your network. Say that this is what I have built, and then learn from their feedback and go back to the drawing board. And this is the cyclic moment which I always do. And this is something, if you have worked with business model canvas, please write one in your chat so that I know that you have worked with. If not, I would highly recommend you guys to work with business model canvas. What it does is it actually simplifies what you want to do. Like this, the left side of the screen is feasibility. Can we build it? What are the factors you need to build it? What are the activities we need to build it? And what are the resources we have to build it? So it actually, you can write it down briefly and break it down to very minute, or the minute detail, what it is all about. And then on the right side of the screen, desirability. Do they want it? Do customer want it? Is this the value? And the why is the value which is bang in center of the business canvas. So do customer really need this product? What is the segmentation you're reaching? And this is the crucial thing, where you could either pivot to something else. Like the same thing happened with Arya. Like, we introduced plates and takeaway boxes, and while we were doing the while we're doing the validation, we got to know that food packaging is where we had to be, and our focus pivoted towards food packaging, because that was the cash cow which excited investors. Where is the possibility of scalability is, and we can do wonders out of food packaging. And also, in today's world, natural substitute, you need that in today's world to save the mother earth, because all of us have spoiled mother earth enough right now. And most important factor is the below one, which is the viability or a sanity check. Will they pay it? If anybody says, yeah, your idea excites me, it's very good, ask them, will you pay it? If tomorrow it is ready, will you use my services? Will you use my technology, or will you use my product? Will you pay? Take out money from your pocket and send me this money, because that is very, very crucial. This is a small example of Uber's business model canvas. And one of the other important factor, which I always think, is networking. And networking is very, very key. And I would highly recommend you to network, use opportunity of networking in especially right now, where all the conferences everything is through Zoom or in technology. So I would highly recommend you don't just stick to India as a market. Explore entire world. You have world as an opportunity, because sitting in Sweden, I am already speaking to groups in Australia, groups in US, in Canada, of course in Europe, different parts of the Europe, because this COVID times, this is something which is very positive, which is brought into entrepreneurial ecosystem, where you can network from people across the globe, and introduce yourself as an entrepreneur and as an idea. So you never know, you may strike a deal, you may strike an investment, you may get your board member, you may get board of advisors who believe in your idea, but they don't have the money, but they have knowledge and network which is in different part of the world, and they can give you different perspective altogether. So this is very, very crucial. So if you have not prioritized networking, I would say please prioritize networking, because networking brought me here right now. Networking, because of networking, one of the important factor, because of networking, I am standing in Uppsala and running my business in Sweden. So this is very, very, very crucial for any entrepreneurs in their journey. And if you love books, I highly recommend you to read these two books. And this is like Bible to me. And anytime when I get stuck in my entrepreneurial journey, it could be in any phase, I just go back to these two books. This has worked for me. Every people are different, but if you have a time, I would highly recommend you to read these two books, which is very, very important. And if you love movies, about entrepreneurs, these are the five movies which you should watch if you're an entrepreneur to get inspiration. Joy, The Social Network, The Founder, Jobs, and The Pursuit of the Happiness. So this entire movie will cover all the arc of entrepreneurial journey. So these are the experiences, these are the learnings, these are the fun things which I learned during my entrepreneurial journey. At the end, I would like to end my experience speech with this quote: "Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face." And this is actually a reality when you're talking about entrepreneur. This punch could land from customer standpoint, this punch could land from the price standpoint, this punch can land from technology standpoint, production standpoint, operation standpoint. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And that's the reason why you are an entrepreneur. And this is the challenge which you always get. And remember, as I said, being proactive. So analyzing where this punch is landing and being prepared for, okay, this is where it will land. Let me plan. Let me plan so that I have my plan A, B, C. So that's where, and sticking to the basics. This is the time when you need to stick to the basics. Go back to basics, team up, huddle up, and say, okay, this is what is coming down. Let's discuss and let's plan how we want to move forward and how we want to tackle it. So I hope that you have learned something from my speech, and I would like to thank Kapil and then his entire team for giving me this opportunity, and I'm ready for some questions if you have some.
Sure. This was very enlightening, Subhash. So the importance of networking, the business canvas model, kind of motivation for all the entrepreneurs is very essential. And this was actually what we were looking. So regarding this Arya, how have you adapted the idea from the original vision? Like you said initially, you thought of just the packing, the idea of packing then came into your mind.
Yeah.
So during this transition, so what were the challenges or what were the things that got into your mind?
First and foremost, we always, when we start with any product we produce, we always know, okay, these could be our customers. Arey, ye kharidenge.
Sure.
Until unless you go to the market and you get punched saying that no, this is what they don't need. So what happened was, initially we thought the plates and takeaway box could be something. And how we validated is, we started with plates, which is normally available in the market, and I worked with the operation team in Karnataka, where we worked with quality of the product, so that it could be palatable for European market. And when we came here, and I just stood in one of the streets in Uppsala and then asked people, could I have a minute? Can I speak to you for 5 minutes? And that time I was a student, so I could take advantage of being a student, because if you're saying that I'm a student, and hey, everybody is a student in their life. So there is nothing wrong about it. And always everybody wants to help somebody saying, I'm a student and I want to help. So I stood there and said, this is what it is. This is a plate. They're like, really nice. It will be nice if there is a food packaging made out of it. So all the transition which has happened is from the validation from the customer whom we went and met. So we took each and every customer's meeting very seriously. I personally made a lot of notes, or sometimes I also recorded, asking their permission if I can record this interview while I was giving. And some people were okay with it, some were not. But I always read and listened to them, and like, what are the key things? They said some of them gave very good feedback. Okay, how does this product behave if I pour a hot soup? Will there be a leakage? And if I put it in, keep it in my storage, will it start decaying because it's leaf, and and with the moisture, anything can come in? And do you have a certificate to sell it in Europe? Because you need to have certificate, because you're selling something very natural, which could attract any bacteria or a fungus, not bacteria, fungus, and spoil the food basically, and you are in a very high risk zone here. So these are the things which we learned from then, and then we got back, and then being proactive. Okay, they need a certificate, so find out where do we got certificate. Even though if we couldn't afford certificate, we saw that there are some big chains in Sweden who are selling similar kind of products, but not as quality as ours, who have certificate. So it was like a relief, saying that okay, they have certificate. So it was very we got a lot of confidence from that, saying that okay, we can also get a certificate out of this. So yeah, that was the journey. And one of the customers said, I want to use this your product as a food packaging, because the municipality or a commune, local commune here, commune, I mean, it's like Pune is a municipality, or like that. So
Local.
they were pushing all the food businesses to find a natural substitute. um, so he told us, every time there is a leader food inspector who comes and he says you're always using chloroform or plastic, we need something natural, find out natural. So he came looking for us. So that's when we realized, okay, there is something here. And then we pivoted into food packaging, because that will excite all investors, because they would want to make their money back. And food packaging was the thing. We have abundance raw material back home, in Karnataka and
Okay.
other parts of South India. So we thought, yeah, this is what we want to do.
Okay. So, this concept of using biodegradable waste from fallen leaves. So, how's the collection pattern there? Or, matlab, in India, when we say like in South India or in Karnataka itself, there is an abundance of these raw leaves. So, how is the pattern or the process that goes along?
Okay, so what happens is, since I come from farmers background, in India. So I have been and living in this farms. So what we do is the production unit, which we get all the products from, they only buy. We have strict rules saying that they only buy this raw material from the farmers. Before these all these raw materials were like agricultural waste, you may say, because it's naturally falls down from the tree. But we made sure that everything they did is they bought from the farmers, so which help their livelihood, added the value to the farmers. And we personally, me, went and gave a surprise visit to farms, and asking, since I'm a local and I exactly understand the culture, exactly understand their behavior, I went and spoke to them. Okay, this person, this is the person, are they giving you enough money? So that's how it all started from the beginning. And then I went back to the operation team, and I said to my producer, saying that I will work on the quality of the product which entire European market needs, which will enhance your business, and also which will benefit me when I'm going to Europe. So that's when I started dividing or segregating the fallen leaf into different categories: A, B, and C. A being much more sturdier without any marks on the leaves, and B with very limited marks on the C. So we started segregating and then started manufacturing, and investing in a dye, because dye is very, very important. The more better the dye is, better the product is. So we invested in a little expensive dye and tried out many, many different sizes and shapes.
Okay. So we have some questions here. So
Yes.
in the market already existed biodegradable and eatable products like spoons and plates. How
Mm.
the new company Arya made a difference then existed?
Yes, that's a very good question, Mr. Reddy. That's the reason why we pivoted into packaging. Yes, it definitely exists, and that's the reason why we don't want to keep focusing on disposables. We want to our focus is food packaging, because I haven't seen in Europe, at least in India yet, it is very, very very, very this is existence, but in Europe it is very, very new. And they are looking for new products and natural substitute, from natural substitute for food packaging. And we have got a validation from a customer who used our product to package meat, and he was very, very happy with how our product behaved in the freezer or in the shelf. So then we said, this is where we want to go. And the quality and the product and the raw material is such that we can also design new shapes and come up with new designs, and with sitting with customer. And that is the service which we offer to our customers, where we say, we will not only give you, these are the products which we'll offer you, however we can sit down and make this come up with design, so they get involved in this process. And plus, if there is any other substitute, it will be very difficult for them to shift to other substitute, because they have already got involved from the design process. So we are making them in our team, uh, and in starting involving them from the process and educating them. So this is how Arya is different other existing players in the market right now.
Okay. So another question from Shine. How did you handle the fear of rejection? In
Mhm.
your words, when get punched with no, what was your mindset that helped you move on from no to yes?
Yeah, I mean it's very simple. As a person, I always plan for the worst. Always plan for the worst. If there are 10 people said no, I know the 11th guy will say yes. Or if 11 guys have said no, I will go back and then keep analyzing. Oh, this X said this, Y said this, Z said this, A said this, B said. So I will go analyze and everything, and then go back saying that, yeah, you have said no. What do you think about this right now? And then they will say, yeah, maybe we are going somewhere, and then learn from there and then go back. It's never giving up attitude, and motivating your team. And that's when I said, go back to basics, go back to the books, go back to movies, go back to your journey, or go back to your school days, go back to and learn from that experience, what made you special. Because I think every one of us, especially in India, and I'm so happy that I'm born in this amazing land, in India, because we have so much going on in our daily life which we do. Like I said, jugad, which is a problem solving ability which we all Indians have, and which comes to us naturally because of the environment which we grow up in our family circuit, and the challenges which we bring in. These are the small things which we can learn and get inspired. So yeah, I don't give up. I don't give up until so if these set of people do, if it doesn't work in Bangalore, hey, I am in Sweden. I know there is always there is a market. And believe me, it is, even though there are substitute, even though there are a lot of competition, nobody can do anything which you can deliver, or you. Every one of us is different, and the way you think, the way you function is more different than it's different than other people. So there itself is a difference. Like how you deliver, same business idea, same everything, how you will deliver, Shine, will be different from how I will deliver. So that is the differentiating factor. And the why, which I said in the golden circle, why I would do it and why you will do it, Shine, it will be totally different. So yeah, I mean that is the answer to your question.
Perfect. Yes, right.
Subassh,
So,
Vikas here. I have just
Hi,
a
Vikas.
question to you. Um,
Yeah.
was the first investment made by your friends and relatives or by an outside investor? Because you said that this sort of an idea was always there in your mind. And when you had these musicians coming to you and speaking with you, they said, yes, this is the thing which we want actually. And at that point of time, you started developing this sort of a product actually. At that point of time, the investments or the necessary requirement, whatever you required as far as your investment was concerned, was through your friends, relatives, or you reached out to the investors in India or the abroad market?
So what I did was, first of all, investment. I started asking, why do I need investment? Do I need investment? Because end of the day, we all know, okay, we need money for what? And break down for what, and what is stopping you at this stage. So that stage was because to find out what will be an app product for your European market. Then I looked around production houses in and around in and around Bangalore, and I found one guy who was lacking business, um, who was who wanted help in his business. And I had education, I had some experience where I could work with him. So in exchange, I told him, give me a machine and please invest in a die, which will help your business. So I actually invested nearly zero, where I worked with partnership or collaboration, by helping them, saying that I would enhance your product because I'm working for some product which is palatable for European market. And what I did is the classic mom test. Everybody says, if you heard this concept called mom test, is basically is telling your if you go to your mom, say that this is what I'm working on, she will be very happy, saying that, oh, my son or a daughter is working with this with this concept. So I did the same mom test to my friends who always criticized me. And in India, it is very, very common to get those kind of friends. So I said, this is what I'm working on. And also I had a bunch of friends in Sweden. So every stage I worked with, I said, hey, this is what I worked in. Do you think this product is good enough? Do you think you will use it? And if it was available to you, will you pay it? And if yes, then I told some of my friends, can you pay me, because I am coming to Sweden in next 2 months, and I will bring some products for you, which will help the businesses. Yeah, the quantity was very small when I started, but but with my help, our man has opened with 3 factory. He started, now he's in 16 factories in Bangalore.
Wow. Also, one more question, Subassh, to you. One more question, actually. You have shown us your golden circle as far as why, how, and what, actually. If a startup or an if a founder wants to start up his journey, sort of thing, and in between, if he has a feeling about it, the process which he is going through it is not the right one, he should change a bit. He should reinvent himself and restart his own process. Is it worth doing that? And at what point is it worth doing?
I mean, the point to which from the point you believe in this idea, I think as an entrepreneur, you should keep pushing if you believe in it. The day when you reach saying that you don't believe in it, you're not passionate about it, it doesn't excite you the way it used to excite me, that's when I think you guys need a break and go watch these movies or books which I recommended you guys. I mean, for me, of course, there was so many situations during this journey where I also felt let down. I also said, why am I doing this? Things are not going right and stuff. But only thing which fascinated me is the why in the golden circle. This is why I want to be. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about food. I'm passionate about social entrepreneurship. I'm passionate about impact entrepreneurship. I'm passionate about building profit while parallelly helping the society. So that thought kept me going. And that is something which I always recommend fellow entrepreneurs, that there are some factors. I mean, you may like some movies, you may like some friends you may hang out in. You can take a break and then come back to your drawing board, or go back to your drawing board, or go back to basics, and analyze. I think what we all entrepreneurs happens to us to reach to this kind of level which you mentioned, because is the same thing which happened to me in that basketball game, where I got overwhelmed with the exterior things, that so many things were happening exterior, that the main aim which I was there went missing, or I got little deviated, or I got little confused. Then that's when you need to take a break. That's when the whistle blows and there is a substitute saying that you come out of the court. You don't belong there right now. And then go back. That means going back to the drawing board, sit, and then analyze and see, oh, this has happened. This is what happened. Oh my God, this is where I went wrong. Oh, or this is what I spoke wrong about in our board meeting or to my co-founding team. Maybe I need to apologize, or maybe tell them what it is and motivate them, or ask their opinion. So these are the things, when you analyze and think back, it's basically rewind and then play all the things. You may get an answer, but I always believe every person is different. So you need to. That's why I always believe in taking these small experience from my school life, from my college life, taking inspiration and books and movies. So each person is different. So I would highly recommend you to take some inspiration from your past. I hope I answered the question. I don't know whether I did justice to your question.
Definitely. Actually, my question was more or less related to some of the startups who venture out in a particular idea, a sort of an innovation, and then come to know about it. The proximity or the transport or these costs are too high and he'll not be able to make it, or the requirement of the particular raw material is too low in respect of that. So he needs to change his thought process. He needs to change his entire process journey. And in that circumstances, this sort of a question was put to you, actually, because we have come across some startups who had initial plans in respect of moving from A to Z. Then in between, when they were moving from A to Z, they recognize themselves that, okay, I'm able to move from A to D, but from moving from D to F, it's taking a long time for me. It's taking a long journey. So instead of that, if I change a little bit my process right now, I could move a little bit more faster. That was
Yeah.
my actually aim in asking you the question.
Yeah, and to adding to that that question, the validation is very, very important, and learning from the validation is very, very important during this process. Why are we doing this process? Why, first of all, why did I plan from A to Z, and why did I move A to B? Was it necessary? And who, with like, what are the datas which made me convinced that no, A to B is a good move? And while validating those data, am I being very honest, saying that okay, I am moving A to B, not because that is B is convenient, because maybe customer needs it, maybe there is a purpose which aligns to your vision. These are the things which you need to question during this process, because it's always easy to get carried away from the exterior, but end of the day, when you sit down and see, okay, this is why we did it, to prove why. Like, why do I have to go to B? Because okay, there is a problem with the production. The production is very, very expensive. Okay, what can I do? I have a paper and a pen. Can I draw? Yes. Can I not draw? Okay, can I catch hold of somebody who can draw and say, okay, this is how the product would look like? uh, I would like to give a small example, to your question. There was this startup which I came to know. They wanted to build an app and they had no idea about technology. So what they did was they cut small cardboards and they gave a user experience saying that this is your home page. If you click this, then they pulled out the cardboard and said you will reach to this level, and then if you click this, then they pulled out, and then they gave the entire customer experience with presenting that in a cardboard and saying that this is what it is, and we are solving this kind of problems. Will you need it? Do you want it? And if you want it, why do you want it? And learning from the customer, and then going back, and this data, collecting this data will according to my small experience, will impress investors, because investors are looking how serious you guys are. And that's how we could raise some funds from for our startup.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
So, Subhash, as a founder of a company, so what is your vision for Arya?
What is my vision?
Yeah, your vision for Arya.
Our vision is to eradicate plastic from the face of the earth, because we know that there is a lot of abundance natural substitute which are lying across the world, and we think that there is more than enough uh, to work around it. Like COVID has given us the right example, right? That is, if there is something which we want to learn from this pandemic, is this: when the nature reacted to thing which we have done, we all panicked. But hey, we are still talking. I'm sitting in Sweden and talking to you guys in India, and we managed to find a way. We all are talented to find a way. It's only this thing is, we need to change our mindset and promising that we need to save this mother earth. So for our vision, we need to take off entire plastic from this face of the earth and substitute that with natural products.
Okay. So, couple of items you wish you knew you even before started.
Couple of things.
Yeah. So even
uh,
before starting this journey of Arya, you wish you had known so that it would make a better impact.
uh, well, it's a very good question. A couple of things which I knew. In a lighter note, I would love to know who are my customers are. And that is something which I get always punched with, saying that, oh no, which I thought, okay, these are my customers. When I went to them, yeah, this could be your customers, but they're actually not your customers. The customers are somebody else. So I would love to know who are my customers with the idea which I'm working on. And also, um, if I would like to know, do more research on my competition. Whom am I competing with? more knowledge on my competition, so that I am prepared myself, which what I'm doing is only for preparing myself, nothing to change or nothing to copy, but it's just learn and prepare, learn from the competition, because from in my sector, any with our vision, any competitor which is doing good for the society to eradicate plastic is a good competitor, first of all, and we respect that competitor, and then learn from them, because we both are in a similar vision but in a different boat, but the vision is the same.
Yeah.
I have a question. Can I, Kapil?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
please, sir.
Subassh, good that you are also from Karnataka. I am also from Karnataka, Tumkur. So, I know I'm closely associated with this business in local industries. Arika plates, right?
Yes.
Now, see, last 2 years back, I think this law came, not law, this basically modification in agriculture, that they have banned beetle leaves. See, basically, any Arika farmers, means Arika farmers, they grow for Arika, not for the plates. Right, it's a byproduct at this point of time.
Yes.
So that has motivated a lot of farmers to go for Arika in the whole of Chikmagalur district, Hausa district.
Yes.
No, nobody is growing. Whatever is existing, they are there. Nobody is putting fresh. No, don't you think down the line? So of course now it is there. The leaves are falling. You are collecting. But as long as the trees are there, the life of trees are around 35 years to 40 years.
Yes.
Right. Already they are 20-25 years old plantations. Another 15 years line you have. So how do you think that's strategic thinking? But definitely this will be there in your mind, I believe.
Absolutely. Very good question, Shiva. And I know for this fact that this is what they're thinking. But we are already in speaking in terms with some farmers in Kerala, because Kerala is taking this as an advantage, and I can see a lot of production happening in Kerala and also some part of Tamil Nadu. And also,
but tobacco is totally banned in the country. No, it's nationwide banned, right? Arika.
I'm not sure if it is, maybe the bill is, but in
it's tobacco. Basically, it's tobacco is banned in a sense, like it's illegal. But it goes with the Arika mainly use it for worshipping, for temple, tambula, and other. And second is a palm.
Yes.
The main objective is it's a carrier basically for the tobacco. So if that main thing is banned, definitely there's a hit, because I have been in Tumkur, so I have seen this farmers doing the strike and all that. Arika farmers, they are not able to get anything. And nobody is encouraged to start new plantation.
Yes. No, very, very true. But Kerala is a different state altogether, and this I can take up a lot, because if they abide by the central, this is a big thing, and that's the reason.
Diversification aspect.
Apart from Kerala, actually, apart from India, China, we have spoken to somebody in China who are delivering the same product. Even in Thailand, I have 2 startups, which are working in Thailand and also in Myanmar. So we have done our research. So these are the regions which is our plan C and D.
Okay, good.
So if India says very strict and Kerala abides by the law, then we go to Thailand, we go to Myanmar, we go to China, because end of the day,
India sending you guys away, I think they should modify the plan.
I mean, I think so too. They should, because
tobacco is a problem, not the Arika, right? Right. Arika is as good as it's Arika nut.
Yes.
It's a healthy itself, right? It's
exactly
wrong about that. I don't know where the scientific publications come.
No,
because I'm a scientist myself, so I know these issues.
Yes. Apart from the
but these are things which are not in your hand. Right? Somebody publishes and it gets impacted in your business.
Yes. And I also know, like as we know, and with our experience, this some government would want to push this, but some other government would want to take advantage out of this. So it's always a egg in the chicken situation in our thing, because like you rightly said, there are a lot of farmers who are getting affected out of this, and this betel nut is not only people chew it with tobacco, but there is a lot of the pharmacy industry is benefiting out of this. And there is also other aspect. I mean, our culture. This is used in our culture, in marriages, in everything. And there are also so there are many usage of betel nuts, apart from chewing with tobacco, which is bad.
Just a thought. It's just a thought. If you, maybe your own startup or some other fellow promotes Arika nut as a another processed product, like how you have this honey dipped gooseberry kind of thing. If you do it, so that would motivate farmers to sustain the or go for more areca cultivation. That would, by the way, will help you have a raw material, seamlessly.
Yes. Maybe that is something which I can think of. By the way, there is something called areca tea. I don't know whether you have come across.
We do that. We do that.
Oh, you do that.
Areca tea, we soak it in many things and chew it.
Yeah. There are many things which is good for your body.
But that's not scaled up. Maybe I should really seriously think about it. Take a food tech guy and because that is not your main forte. But if you want to sustain the areca plantation, the main revenue of the farmer has to be sustained, so that your idler revenue, which is your leaf, will be there for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Good. Participants, any other questions? No, this is very interesting talk because because my neighbors, my in-laws in Tumkur, their neighbor is doing the same activity. They have the machine, they do spoons and other things. But seeing this in Sweden is really amazing.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any funding? What kind of funding you can expect in this thing?
Yes. We got a couple of fundings. First of all, the commune here is very, very active in these things. So we got funding from the commune, which is municipality. They fund a lot of startups. So I would highly recommend my other fellow entrepreneurs here, don't restrict yourself to India. Yeah, your product could be in India, but let me assure you, there are a lot of investors who want to get into India because India is a huge market. And more than huge market, India has a huge potential, and because there are a lot of bright minds sitting here and working across the globe. So that's the reason why we got funding from the commune. We got funding who help startups. One of the agencies which we got funded by is Uppsala University Innovation. They wanted to help us with this idea and validate our idea, so we got funding from there, and we got help from other institute in Sweden right now. Through them, we have approached a couple of investors who are closely in touch with us. While we talk, tomorrow is the day when we are pitching to a couple of investors for our first pre-seed investment.
Good luck for that.
Thank you so much.
Hope you get more. So,
thank you.
Actually, I think you should seriously think because now a lot of government policies are changing. They're bringing bamboo from the forest produce to plantation. They already brought it last year. I don't know, Donne biryani you might have heard.
Yes.
I think you should start in because this comes with this harika only. Like you pack it in and cook it.
Yes.
I think this can become a cooking utensil, baking utensil.
Yes.
Kutu and all they make in Uttar Karnataka.
Yes.
They put it in this. I use it as a cooking utensil. I think the practices are shown to people. The utensils can themselves. This harika can be utensil itself for cooking.
I mean, that's the beauty of. This is the beauty of this natural products. Right, like you can cook it and then put it in your compost bin after that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Shiva sir, I have seen that somehow people from South India find a kind of synergy.
Because anywhere it's always like the same, Right.
Yeah.
In fact, see, Kapil, next what we are planning is we are doing the pitch presentation in Telugu next time.
Okay.
Why not?
Definitely.
Yes, see, money has no language, right?
Yeah.
So impact has no language. So I think that has to be vernacularized.
That's
true, sir. So, Subhash, being a person from sales and marketing background, so we have seen a lot of founders saying that the team should be well capable of handling sales and marketing by themselves, and even the people at the top line. So can you just describe your first sales story? So your first customer.
With my startup?
Yeah, with Arya.
with Arya, with actually Arya, we boiled down who are our early adopters. Like we started going back to looking at trends. What are the trends? And then during studying that, I got to know there are a lot of companies which are very working with circular economy, where everything they do has to be sustainable or has to be impactful or has to give back to the nature. So during that research, I got to know that there is a startup which is growing, getting attention in this part of the region, where this person he loves nature, and he's doing a PhD in working in forest. So he takes people to woods, to forest, for a day trip where he treks, and he shows them some regions of forest which none of them have ever experienced. So he takes them for a natural trek, but and also he's a very good cook. So what he does is also he makes a fire, uh, handmade fire. He doesn't use any fancy tools, no matchbox, nothing. Everything is sustainable. So he collects some wooden pieces and starts the fire, and then he cooks from the utensils, whatever sustainable utensils he has. But he always served food in aluminum boxes, so then we went to him. First I asked him, what do you do? Please tell us, like, if I want to be in the tour, what do you do? Then he said, yeah, I cook. I said, brilliant. How do you serve your food? He said, this is what I'm not happy with. I said, go on, tell me, what do you serve with? He said, I serve with aluminum foil. Okay. And I asked him, why do you serve it? So in this moment, it could be easily to say, okay, here is my product, use it. No, I wanted to know why. Then he said, that's when the validation came, that he didn't find any good natural substitute which he could use, which is he tried paper plates, but paper plates couldn't hold the heat. And it also, when they were using forks and spoon, that used to damage the plate, and that would come to mix with the food and end up in your mouth. So he was not happy with that, and he didn't find any natural substitute. And with aluminum, one thing what he could do is he could serve his customer the food, and he could fold it easily and put it in his backpack and bring back here and throw it. Then I said, okay, now our products can solve your problem. So here is my product, which can easily take hot food. It will not leave any lints. It will not become any soggy. It is fork and spoon friendly, so you can cook a beautiful chicken steak and you can serve on it and use a knife and fork easily, and it will not damage. And guess what? After you are done, either you can burn it or just leave it in the nature, because it will go down, compost in like less than 45 days, which will be good for the environment. He said, bang on, this is what I need. So selling, he only asked how much does it each cost, and from then, that's the story of our first customer.
Amazing. So, Subhash, here we have a lot of participants who are either into ideation stage or some of them into MVP stage. So they are looking definitely in future to have a team of around maybe 10 to 12 people around them. So what, according to you, should be the key attributes of an ideal employee?
First thing, again, I go back to Golden Circle. Why do you need them? Why do you need them? And what kind of people do you need them? Do you need them? Do you need your employees to have similar vision? And that's why you will see a lot of HR asking in the interview, where do you see yourself in 5 years? They want to see what is your vision, and then they can say, okay, this is a person who has his vision, who has his plans. So what kind of attributes do you need? What kind of employee would you want to work with, who can challenge, whom he or she can challenge you, can say, you know what, let's step it up. So that is co-founding team. You need to discuss what kind of and also I would say that's where I say be very honest. What kind of support do you need? It could be in finance, because my biggest thing is I'm horrible in finance, and I have no shame in admitting it. There is no shame in admitting it, because I can't be good with anything. I'm very bad with numbers. numbers irritate me, frustrate me, but being a CEO or a founder, you need to know. At least I have that knowledge to understand. But if you give me Excel and numbers to work with, I go crazy. But when I'm talking about it, purely finance, so I'm accepting that, and that I'm being honest, and that's what I tell my team, that what number doesn't. Then you brainstorm that, okay, you need somebody with this. Why is that person, and what that person he or she can bring to the table? So you need to discuss all that thing, parameters, set the parameters, and then go on looking for people who would match those parameters, or at least close to matching those parameters.
Yeah. So, in an entrepreneur journey, so there are a lot of hardships, challenges they face during their journey. So, what is the hardest decision you have made so far?
um, um, Hardest decision? No, there is nothing.
Something that was
Some
very
of the
challenging.
challenging,
Yeah.
some of the challenging decision which I made with my first startup is I let go my job. Let go my job, and I wanted to do it. I wanted to just jump into the challenge directly, without being well prepared. Mm, because I felt that I was not prepared for this. I didn't know that these are the things which I was not prepared for. And right now, currently, I manage my time efficiently. That's how, when I read these books and everything, and they always, very big entrepreneurs, they always say manage your time, and I understood why they say that, manage your time. So that was one of the biggest challenge with my first startup, where I jumped. I said, okay, I will not worry about my other jobs. I will just, this is my thing, and I want to do this. And biggest lesson I learned is, the business which I was into was not profitable. It was more of an NGO or an organization, which was, of course, I was mentally very happy, or it was giving me a lot of satisfactory. But end of the day, there was no bread on my I couldn't afford anything. I had to depend on other means of things. So that is something which I learned.
Okay. Okay.
Subassh, I have a question to you.
Yes.
In fact, there are two questions actually.
Mhm.
In the market which you are right now, you
Mhm.
have a lot of players, you have a lot of competition as far as your market is concerned. Okay.
Yes.
My first question to you: how do you manage your competition in respect to that? And the second question, which is related to the first question, is do you also get an opportunity to use other competitors' products which are manufactured by you also, as well as them also, find the quality difference, find out the cost difference, and then analyze and go back to your team and inform them? Do you do this sort of a research even now, or how what should it?
Yeah, very good question, Vikas, and thank you so much. And remember, like when I said before, we both are in same journey for same vision. The entire competition is a good competition, but we are in different boats. To answer that question, we are very well aware that we are sitting on a fragmented market, and that is one thing which we say to even our investors. We are in fragmented market. How we are different is, we have not come across anybody who is exploiting food packaging, and that's where I feel, if you may call it as an X factor or factor which determines us. We would we want to explore food packaging, and strategy to achieve that is to work food packaging, to work with design with our customer, so involving our customers from the beginning of the process, so that we both together come up with an MVP which will help them for their users. So that is something which we do. We mix service and product, where we come up with designs with the customers, and giving them customer service, helping them to produce their thing. If there are any other player who would want to replicate or give the same kind of things, it will be very difficult for this customers to move to to other alternative, even though if he is offering a better price, because the customer has already been involved in the process of design and everything. So it will be very challenging, and as you rightly said, it's a very fragmented market, and we would want to keep learning from every sales calls. So we have made a very big effort of every sales call, what we do is we document it and we sit, and then we spend extra 1 hour or half an hour to just brief and learn from what they are doing, and then go back to them. And with your other, second question, which you said about competition, um, you can only learn, and then we as an organization respect our competition. So we don't go saying that, oh, they are very bad. We say, you know what, we have to celebrate that. Okay, there are some other natural substitute which is good. Which is a substitute for plastic, which is very, very good, because we see in a long term we can collaborate. We can collaborate and become partners, and help each other to grow.
Thanks.
Okay. So, any other questions? Do we have any other questions from the participants? You can just unmute your mic, or you can maybe type in the chat section.
Yeah.
Okay, so Subhash, so what is that one piece of advice, as you said about the golden circle and going back to the basic, but apart from this, so what would be that one piece of advice that you would share with these young entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I would say be proactive. I would say be proactive, and be aware that there's gonna be a punch which is waiting to come, which will land. I mean, that's the beauty of entrepreneurship. Be aware, be proactive, always think one step ahead, and be very, very honest to you, very, very honest. Even though because when we were discussing about investment, that is a very interesting topic. When we were discussing about investment, we asked ourselves, why do we need investment? Do we want to pay ourselves salary? Is that what we need? Okay, you have a salary, what will you do next? What is your timeline? Because when you think about that question, imagine you yourself being an investor, like asking any startup will come to you and say, give me 10 lakh or 20 lakh to my idea. And imagine that you have to give your hard-earned money or savings which you have to another startup which is in ideation state or an MVP stage, and hoping that in next 5 to 10 years or next you will get the returns. Now imagine that thought process. Imagine you are sitting with that money and you have to give this. What all the factors which you will consider and filter and funnel in your mind, saying that why do you need my money? And be honest to yourself. Be very, very honest to yourself, and there is nothing wrong. And so these are the things which I would advise to my fellow entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. So, Subhash, with this, I think we are done here for today. So, on behalf of Arthayan, AIC, SKU, and all the participants, I would like to thank you for being here and taking your time for this session. We appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you in our next cohorts as well. Thank you again very much.
Yes, thank you so much. I am very glad that you liked it. And thank you so much for inviting me and considering me. I always cherish talking about my experience and sharing and learning as much as I can with my experience. And I sternly believe, as a proud Indian, I sternly believe that we have loads of talent and we have entire world to explore. And I mean it from depth of my heart. And I can see that changing. I have seen a lot of amazing, bright, talented Indians coming out and working and doing wonderful job in their own field. It could be technology, it could be impact entrepreneurship, it could be agri, it could be food tech. And don't shy yourself. Be confident. I mean, you all are special. We all are special. This is a special passion which we have, entrepreneurship and giving back to the society. And this is something which not everybody is blessed with. So be proud of what you're doing, and cherish every moment of this journey, because this is something which no institute will give you. No job will provide you this. Only walking this path will make you learn, and cherish each and every step while you take this path. Cool. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Okay, thank you very much again. Bye bye.
See you.
Yeah, bye bye.
Uh, when is the next speaker, Kapil? You are logging off now and joining again, or you are inviting speaker now itself?
Uh, I think so. Kapil is logged off, if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken.
Okay. I think
Just hold on. I think so. There is one more speaker.
correct. That is the reason the participants just logged off. See, participants, we have.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Let me just check up. Kapil, you have logged off or what? We are waiting for you only. We wanted to know. In fact, Shivasa wanted to know about it. Whether the second session is going to start immediately or there's some time. Yeah, just rejoin and inform them. Yeah, because all the participants are waiting. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. So, what is the schedule now? No.
Couple is just
Continue.
rejoining. The second schedule is at 12:30. So should we log off or we should keep it on?
Those who are staying, let them stay back. No problem. Because
Yeah.
after 8 minutes, what is the point in logging off and logging on?
Yeah, that is
But
just
those
around 8
who
minutes.
left, I think I have to send. No, just intimate them because I.
You don't have that time schedule with you, sir?
Actually, in that whatever the sheet, we are talking. It is just 11 to 1 is there, and only one speaker as it's added. No. Okay.
So, sir,
Not sure.
after this at 12:30 again, we have founders from Lemmy.fit coming in.
Correct.
So we'll
Yes.
take a 5-minute break, and after that,
Ah,
we'll start that
yeah,
session.
we'll do that. Right.
So what we will do, Kapil, we will not leave the screen sort of thing
Yes.
because if participants are there, let them be there. It is just a question of around 5 minutes now.
Exactly.
Sure.
Actually. So let us not leave because going back and coming back again will be slightly difficult as far as participants and
Correct.
inclusion. So let us keep it on and you can rejoin at 12:30 along with the founder.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, fair enough.
Yes, sir.
I know all the participants know you can stay tuned. No need to log off because the next speaker will join another 5 minutes. If you want to take a short break, you can come back. No, please be here by 12:30. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, hello Amol.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, hi. Lakshmi, I think she's also joining, right?
They join me. Yes, I'm just texting her. Okay. Oh, she joined somewhere else. I think old link. So just okay, coming here. Yeah.
Okay, the one on the Google link, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. So you are also from Bangalore?
Yeah, yeah. So Basically, I'm from Maharashtra, but my education is completely in Bangalore, Indian Institute of Science, IISc Bangalore.
Yeah, yeah.
So almost like 9 years I'm here. 2011, like that was the batch.
Sure, sure. Great.
Joining in a moment. Yeah, she is there. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. Hi,
Hello, hi, hi, Lakshmi.
how are you?
Good, good, good.
Yeah.
So, we'll start this. Dear participants, we have today Lakshmi Pandrala and Amol Kamble, founders of Lemmy.fit. So, a brief about Lemmy. Lemmy is an AI-based health and nutrition platform that offers end-to-end solutions in the space of health and nutrition. This platform provides customized diet plans, in-depth analytics of fitness and eating habits over time, health tips and reminders. With 25,000 plus users onboarded on the platform, Lemmy's in-depth health analytics gives you deeper recon on shortcomings and improvement by tracking everything that and visualizing for you to get better every day. We have Lakshmi. A brief about Lakshmi as well. So, Lakshmi is a certified sports nutritionist and ex-founder of another startup, Diet Unlimited. She is honored with the Vatfa Woman of the Future Award in 2017. She is also a visiting nutrition consultant for Cricket Association's tennis academies and has an unmatchable expertise in genetic test-based nutrition. Amol is a serial entrepreneur and business expert, former founder and CEO of Zephy, which is focusing on IoT cloud analytics products and ML platform. He is an alumni of IISc, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and a former and senior VP and business head at iBall. So, Lakshmi and I'm also will first start with knowing more about Lemmy.fit and then your entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, I think so. It's Lamifit. It's basically starts with a very personal experience. To be honest, so my father is like more of diabetic and had an heart issue. So basically, he's a 58-year-old and so many health issues. So somehow so my previous office like eyeball research lab, so which I was heading. So and her new previous startup was in same tech park, Sigma Tech Park, and just had an consultation with her, and he has seen the tremendous kind of growth in like a 3 month of a personalized nutrition. So his diabetes level has gone down and different, so also heart issues. So basically that was kind of trigger point for us. So this lot of market out there, right? It's more of reactive healthcare rather than preventive healthcare. So the issue is not so many people having like a medical issues. Like there are around 500 million people who are diabetes, and there are 1.9 billion people which has a obesity or chronic disorder of any sort of thing. The problem is not they having a problem, but the problem is they don't have access to preventive healthcare services and knowing that awareness about the preventive healthcare. So basically what it can do to your life and all that. So that was a kind of trigger point, and then we had a discussion thinking that this can be grown to the larger audience. So we have to create awareness, and that's how the Lamifit come into the picture. Basically, it's kind of end-to-end integrated preventive healthcare platform which provides different kind of preventive healthcare services, which includes the diabetes nutrition, or it could be heart issues, thyroid, or providing the pathology and DNA test across India. So we have a presence in India now. We have onboarded almost like a 30,000 users within her 15 months of launch now, and we have overseas client from Canada and US which been using the platform efficiently. So 2 3 months back, we also started in Canada, which is because there are also a lot of market we are seeing and traction, early traction. So started the kind of office there also and seeing good results.
Yeah. So basically, with like so much crowded market in health and nutrition, what made you think of coming out with an online platform for consultation of health tips?
See, the crowded is one thing, but how much portion of the market has been captured by those? So there are a couple of, if you say cult fit or healthy family, the total market size in India as of now, if you see, so it's predicted to be about $105 billion. Okay, and if you see the online platform has like just a portion of it, not even 1% that's been acquired by the online platform. It could be Healthify Me or it could be Cult Fit. How much? Like 100 crore, 105 billion is a huge number. So that means it's completely not acquired. So there is large number of portion of the market which has it's untouched, and the main reason is the awareness in this market. So the people who are problem, like suppose my dad was having issue of this
Diabetes.
diabetes, but he don't know that there is a preventive healthcare approaches which can help him to recover faster rather than taking insulin on daily life. So that was kind of right. And I'm from IIC Indian Institute of Science and very well kind of educated and all. Still, I don't have. So almost like a 90-95% of the market is untouched as of now in India, and that's a huge opportunity for us to come and at least capture the portion of the market in next 5 year or 6 year by creating the awareness at a root level. So if you see tier 2, tier 3 cities, completely zero awareness for these services. Tier 1, like some percentage of the people are now health conscious, but not everyone are using preventive healthcare approach in their day-to-day life. So you can see it's still emerging market, you can say, but there is a large number of opportunity, and that's what I see in we did. Like before launch, we almost like a 1 month spent time on market research. So what could be it? Because there are so many players in the market, but we have to somehow make that space for Lamifit and grow into larger audience space. So that's it.
The point, Kapil, market is full of weight loss goal oriented, right?
Yes.
It is nothing based on the preventive nutrition as such. So people are don't know that diabetes or thyroid, any of the lifestyle diseases basically. These are all the because they come into the picture because of the base is only overweight, right?
Mm.
So we want to like kind of address everything. So especially preventive nutrition is our target because that where the market is not at all captured in that one, in that
Yeah.
area as
So
such.
if I ask you question, is there any brand which kind of well known for preventive healthcare? As such, there is none which is very well known or something. Some portion of bits and pieces somebody is doing at a very granular level. You could say that Bangalore level or could be Delhi level, but at a larger space, not so many things. Yeah.
Most of the most of the other people who are providing the services, they are local oriented, like where
Yes.
they are like one city or two cities at the maximum, but none of them are having that much reach where they can uh, go across, reach all the crowd in India, whether it is a metro cities or whether it is a rural areas, right? And our reach is in such that Indians are there, we are everywhere, and Indians anywhere we go, right? So we want that only Indian food and all that, and definitely preventive nutrition is going forward, that will be the future we wanted to. That is the reason we have started this Lamifit, going only mostly focusing on the preventive nutrition.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Lakshmi, you being from a nutrition background, and Amol, you from a tech background.
Tech
So,
background.
so how did this like idea like of starting something as a brand, as a identity, as Lemifit, so that got into your mind?
Yeah, yeah, I think it's more of started from my personal experience, to be
Personal.
honest, and we know her like the last 4 5 years. I know her personally, and she is into nutrition. So at 2018, that is a time frame where like my father's diabetes was around 315, and which was kind of alarming. So he had
Mm-hmm.
got that chakkar, you can say, right? So that
Disease.
was
Yeah.
happening and all that, and I just suddenly speak to her about this case, and I seen the tremendous changes in his health and all. So that's how we started talking. and I just realized that a lot of opportunities there in the market, because not so many people are aware about these things. Like whatever happens to you, suppose you have a thyroid, you have a heart issue, or you have diabetes, or you're obese, what you do is go to doctor, take a tablet, reduce that problem, but you're not solving that problem fundamentally, right?
Correct.
So all these diseases are at some point of time reversible by using manual intervention. It could be the fitness, it could be the nutrition, or doing some kind of vitamins and all that additional supplement. It's reversible, but those awareness is completely lacking in the market. So it's kind of new to the audience in India. If you see the West culture like US and other Canada or Europe, they know actually. So a lot of people, they go and do DNA test to understand their body structure and all that, but that's not happening in India. So there is larger portion of the market, we realize that it's there, and that's how the how to reach audience, right? So that's why we need a platform. It's not just like we shouting at some point of time and people will hear us. So better is a platform, tech platform, and that's why I come into the picture. So I bring the technology,
Technology,
and she brings the kind of expertise
knowledge,
of
nutrition.
technology.
Yes,
True, true, true. Very amazing. So, one thing also, like I have noticed, so in a very short span of time, like in I would say around 1.5 years, so you have reached a customer base of around like 25,000 plus.
Yes,
So
yes,
that itself is a very amazing thing to have. And as a startup, like it must be very challenging and very difficult for you. So,
yes.
what are the things like that you did? Because most of the entrepreneurs here like would like to know how to get like acquiring the customer is definitely something that
definitely.
is very important.
That
So
is.
what were the things that came into your mind and how it helped you?
You want tech?
Yeah, you know, you go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, see, for any startup, the biggest problem is not the technology or any building some
Business,
platform or tech product, right? The biggest challenge is acquiring the clients and to reach a larger number of
larger audience.
audiences and make them purchase something on your platform, right? So that's the biggest task for me. Like the technology, if you could say that it's a kind of 10%, it's just an initial boost to the company, but the larger play is sales marketing. That's a key aspect. So what we did, there are a couple of approaches we can take. So what we did, so she had a very good experience in a nutrition space,
Newton.
and she served like a lot of clients including Indian cricket team. There are a couple of actresses, there tennis player, all are rankers and which are very well known in this space. What we so that's kind of advantage for us, her past 10 years of experience and working with celebrities, bureaucrats, even a couple of ministers and all that. So that was a so that's the theorem we used. So we have this much very well certified, well known people on the platform which been using, and that's kind of then all other people are started using the platform. But still using those names were not sufficient actually. So what we started doing a lot of wellness campaign as a free of cost. We hit colleges, we hit corporates, we hit the public places like marathons. So we
Marathon,
sponsored
yeah.
Mumbai Marathon, Hyderabad Marathon, so that we can reach maximum number of people. So in fact, we offered a lot of services at initially free of cost, where wellness campaign we did it,
Yes,
and we were getting like per day almost like a 500 clients as acquisition when we are going to hitting to colleges and all that.
right.
And that kind of mouth to mouth publicity helps us to reach larger audience, and now it's a 30,000, but
So
we are looking
initially,
more of 1 million sort of clients this year as of now, because iOS we launched recently, and earlier we were not too keen and aggressive. The fundamental challenge is finding the product market fit. So you have launched something, but there is not a right product market fit, then people will just download your app and remove it, and that's what happens, and that's why most of the companies fails because not finding that product market fit. So
right.
last 1.5, like almost 15 months, what we did, we study a lot of market, who are the potential clients who can pay us, and that is the portion of the people. There are 9 million people in India who are like a health conscious, and there are 8 crore diabetes patients which are in India. So that kind of complete 100% client for us. If we reach those people and convince them, that's it. So we can get that client acquisition. So that's what the kind of different kinds of tactics,
Strategies we have,
strategies
right?
we've been
So
using for.
initially we started more like, creating that awareness, brand awareness, right? People need to know first of all that we are there in the market,
Yes.
so that why they should come to us. Unless they know that this is what we are doing, this is why they should come to us. What are the benefits? Why they need us, right? So that kind of a thing, the people we have to start. So first create that, and it has to be target oriented also. You cannot randomly go to any other crowd which might not be interested in your product, right? So
Right.
you set reach to that particular target oriented people audience, then create more and more awareness, keep on engaging with them, create more brand awareness, why the benefits and advantages how advantageous it is going to be for them, right?
Yes.
Of course it is
True.
going to be beneficial for us, but why they should take consider us, right? So that also has to be kind of given to them. Then only they will be coming back to you, looking for you, or even at maybe not immediately, but at some point of a time when they know when the need arises in their life, right? They should remember, okay, such and such lamifit is there, this is my requirement, I can reach out to them. So that has to be established.
And the almost like I would like to add one more point is customer retention. So whenever you are acquiring client, that client has to be with you for a longer period of time. So it should not be like a one transaction on a platform and the customer is gaib. So that's not a right approach. So what we did, so we understand the journey who want to be get fit or who want to reduce this diabetes or any kind of health issue. So in their journey, it starts with a preventive approach, and then they have to buy a couple of healthy products. It could be vitamin, supplement, or throughout their life, they have to get the medical test at any point of time, right? So they usually do that health checkup or DNA test. So what we added, so a kind of adding more services which kind of engaging to them. So whenever once the client is come and buy something, so next time also that's kind of purchasing. So our premium class, right? So it's like almost 90% of the premium clients are increase their 3 month plan to the 6 month plan or 1 year plan. So that's a retention is more
Retention is
possible rather than
yes.
some. That's why we are sustaining more in the COVID time also. That's a reason because the people who trusted us, like it's with us
Come
for a
back to
longer
us.
period of time.
Moreover,
Yeah.
it's more like, creating their health journey slightly, making it easier for them,
Yeah.
right? So we don't want to make it cumbersome where they will be thinking, "Arey baap re, abhi I have to go here, I have to go, then again buy take a diet plan, then I have to go do the blood test, fear supplements, all this." So we should make it easier for them so that once they are on board, they are with us,
So
right?
retention is, yeah.
Retention is very important, so you have to work on those strategies. So we have studied the market very, and of course, as Amul was mentioning, right, my experience did help, so I could see what all was lacking. So
Yeah.
in over my 10 years of experience, when a client was approaching to me, they would approach me and say, "Okay, madam, where do I get this blood test done? It is taking so," and especially Bangalore, as you know, it is so much traffic. So
Correct.
people keep postponing, right? Nahi, abhi nahi, next week I'll do. I'll come back to you next week. So that never happens. That next week never comes. It just keeps postponing, right? So
Yeah.
we said, ki, no, let us come to you. We will take care of everything. All you need to do is take care of your own health. That's it,
Yeah.
right? So it's giving them everything at hand in their own plate at that convenience. So that's how we have kind of added more services so that it is easier for them to follow the journey. For example, like, blood test they can do anywhere, but they don't know which test to do particularly. So we give them a set of tests, so kind of like very much personalized, hyper personalized only for that particular goal they want to reach, whether it is a medical or whether it's a general wellness. We have created that personalized approach so that then the retention is so the trust is also more, right? The people will believe us. They know that we are not taking them for a ride, कि अच्छा चलो on board आ गया है कि do this like that. So that,
Absolutely.
so we need to create that trust also. Show
Yeah.
them that it
Definitely.
is for,
Definitely.
yet that also is very important. Then only the client will be there with you and credibility increases over a period of time.
Yeah, acquiring a customer definitely is
Yeah,
important, and
Yes,
retaining that client over a longer period of time, again, that is also very critical.
very great. Yes.
yes.
Yeah, so happy that we have two founders here. So a very question, because again, whenever there comes a situation or comes something for the making decisions for the company. So
Yes.
Lakshmi, so how do you like deal with the conflicts?
I should say, thank God till now both of us are very much in sync in most of the things, right? So take whatever it is completely. I do not interfere. That is his area, so he takes care of it. So when it comes to customers and acquisition or maybe the retention, whatever the knowledge side, I will tell him, and he doesn't button in that. He said, okay, that's your area of expertise. You do the process whichever it is easier or the workable model for the client, as long as it is good for the clients. That's what the best, it is in their best interest, right, at the end of it. So whatever works for them, we do take. So we do discuss every point at everything, but every small thing also we always discuss before getting out, saying ki, okay, theek hai, this is what we want to do, or this is what we agreed on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. So a lot of times a thought related to especially in the startup ecosystem, thoughts comes to our mind like, are we both going unpaid, and when would this change? So Amol, anytime like this thought has come to your mind?
Yeah, actually, see, like I carry a lot of startup experience. So I started in 2006, 2015 actually. My startup that was Ignore Technologies, which was into IoT, and there I was like unpaid for like 1 year, complete straightforward. And there were a lot of thoughts like what I'm doing, it's right or wrong, because I had just left a MNC job which was paying so much money to me. And but at the end you have to actually push yourself a lot, because these thoughts keep coming like I'm not paid, or it's very underpaid, or something like that. But like within years we got acquired by Eyeball in 2017. So that time we just like made like how much money more than what I have lost in 1 year. So it's a cycle. You have to keep pushing yourself. You have to say that start adapting to the new thing, right? So market also, so market may not be like a, so before COVID and now COVID, so it's a completely two scenarios as well.
True.
So it's okay to unpaid for some point of time, because that's what, it's a risk versus rewards. High risk, high rewards. Low risk, if you're doing job, that's what 10%, 15% increment per year, that's what happen. So for bigger goals you have to sacrifice something. But fortunately in Lamifit, from the day one we are getting a clients actually. So that might be the experience I carry for long duration. Like, so I was a business head for Eyeball, which was heading almost across India business IoT. So where I understand how to make money. So
Yeah.
that is also one more. And her experience, 10 years of experience in this field, we exactly know whom to target. So this was so. There were some certain low months also in our like Lamipit journey, especially during when the COVID started. 2 3 months were low, but we just changed the marketing approaches.
Strategy.
Um,
Yes.
Rather than going online, we go more of B2B approach. We started partnering with the companies, doctors, and all that, which help us to again get the more clients. So unpaid is okay, but there is a maximum potential, or you could be like a millionaire in a so this time of time. So that's what happening. Uh, so don't worry about that. So one of my friend also, yeah.
Yeah.
So he was my lab mate also at IIC. So he started drink plan like 4.5 year. It was hardly earning anything. He was also like underpaid. We used to discuss. Now that guy got like a 27 crore funding. So that's how it works. So it's hardship, and but at the
That's
end,
it.
if you're doing things and keep evolving yourself, you will get the results. That's what I
Yeah.
believe, and we are never in a thought process that it's underpaid or whatever it is. We will be doing till it reaches at certain level and get that thing
See,
going.
in any startup, na Kapil, I think once the strategies you are very clear about and the path you are following, right? And you have to keep on reinventing. There is no one set rule ki only this will work for any startup,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
It is completely different for somebody else's startup, and depends from the area of the startup also they are doing it. Whatever works in IT will not work in health. So
So,
you have to create your own strategies. You have to keep on brainstorming, coming up with new ideas. Then only you will succeed. And yes, it is time consuming, and it's definitely not a 9 to 5 job. Please remember all. It's definitely not a 9 to 5 job. It's actually 24/7, and 24 hours is not enough too. Suddenly there are times where Amol and I would have suddenly thought of some things, and we have discussed late night, even 12 to 2, also on Zoom calls or Google Meet, lot of things, because that was the time we have to suddenly discuss and come up with new things. So there is no set rule ki this is the time I'm going to think, this is the time only we will work. You have to be on it all the time. Then definitely yes, it is going to be reward for sure.
Yeah, it's a reward. But the startup is for rewards actually, but
Yes.
any rewards come with a high risk. Initial
Hi.
very low, yeah, phases are there.
okay. So happy to know that Lemmy is doing very good in in his field. So, but talking about the thoughts, as we were already discussing. So, any thought like what if the company fails, or is there any plan B?
Right now, we don't have as such plan B. So
Plan B.
right now, the 100% focus is to make the company, this company successful
That's
at by hooks and crooks. Like whatever happens,
that's
we will, at least we have told that this is what we want to do in next 8 to 10 years, and we are both in the sync of that mind thought that this is what we're gonna do. So plan B, it's always there, right? So because we are educated people and all that, so we'll always get a MNC job and all that. But that's not we actually crave for. We are more looking for make something big out of it. It might take like a 5 year or 6 year or 7 year, but that's what it's a comment from meant from our side. So, and as of now, we are not doing that bad. So we are month on month, we are getting more clients. So that's not any kind of case we are looking.
yes.
Hopefully, we are not hitting that point.
Yeah. See, I think I would not, of course, yes, people will think otherwise, but if you have a plan B all the time, that means you are kind of subconsciously sure that may not be working. So
Yeah.
don't have that, right? So keep on working on your ideas, come up with new strategies. Don't think कि अगर ये नहीं होगा तो next क्या है वो that will be a different startup. When you are successful in this, then you start on with that.
So
Right?
plan B would also be again a new startup.
Exactly. So you are never a failure then. So
Definitely.
it always works. Yes.
So, Lakshmi, just wanted to know, like, what was the reaction like when you discussed this idea of Lemifit with your family, friends, or maybe with your network? So, what was the reaction?
Um, it was good because see, it's not something different from my whatever I was doing. It's the same thing. It's the same profession I was doing. Continued. Only thing is, we were going on a larger scale, trying to reach out to that bigger crowd, right? So then I had to tell them, "Okay, this is what going to be, and I'll be needing more time, putting on more efforts on this." So support was good. So, and I had a good partner, so
But
that's also makes quite a lot of difference, right? So the partner, if both of you are not in sync and the efforts are not the same, then definitely it doesn't go the right way. It always a lot of conflict. So the choosing the right partner also makes a very important thing. That's very good. You need that.
yeah, so for me also, like my father is always like, so he worked in a bank for like last 30 years. So he's always wants that a job. So I was sitting on an executive role. I was a senior VP at IBOL and business head, and leaving this like very lucrative job and starting something on your own again, which has a lot of struggles, ups and downs. He was like, no. This is not something you should be doing. You should be like concentrating there. Similar time I had like, so because of my ISC background, I keep getting like calls from Google or something other good companies. But it's he is like always do job. Why you want to struggle and all that? So, but this is something. I want to do or we want to do, right? And that's what where your heart is, follow that. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
what something. So people look for MNC job. What I did is like we started office in Canada, so we are looking for US office as well. So that's not something we are keen
True,
on.
true.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, having seen such a successful business model you have at Lemmy, acquiring 25,000 plus customers, but again, for a startup, it gets very difficult acquiring the first customer. So, the first customer is always the difficult one. So, I don't know it happened with you, but if you can just describe a story or maybe your first client interaction, that will help us maybe to know more in detail.
Actually, our first client is indeed Amol's dad. So it was very encouraging, and he was so happy because we could, of course, see the numbers also, right? His sugar levels has dropped really good, and he has actually lost 10 kgs, and he could do the cycling much better and he was much more fitter. Though he was getting older, he was getting much fitter than when he was very young. So that gave him also, like, he could understand what we were also doing. So when we could convince him, so it was, we were also absolutely confident that once he understood it, he accepted us, everybody else will definitely do.
And she has like a past like Umesh Yadav, like Mananora, a lot of Olympians and all that. So that client base is there. So for us, it's kind of easy client acquisition because of the area expertise which she carries. So that's not like, because since day one of the launch, first day itself we could have done like around 12,000 of business. First day of the launch itself. So people bought the product from the Lamifit app and all that. So that's a little bit we are lucky on that front. But in previous startup, we were struggling like a lot for like almost 6 months to get that. And previous startup also, the first client was a big bazaar for me. So Big Bazaar, which is a future group. So it was we were giving that IoT monitoring system and AI based resolution, basically, which saves your electricity and all that. So there I was struggling to get that first client, and then like almost 6 months, couple of rounds of meeting with their executive, and then finally we got one order in a 6 month here in Bunching store in Big Bazaar, like that. So it's a struggling. Each startup is a different actually. So if you are doing something completely new, so it's a more of struggling time. So if you are coming up with something new, which is like hi-fi stuff, which has a lot of technology going in and all that, but the adoption of those products, it takes long time. So it is like a journey of 1 year to 2 year to adopt those products. But something which is running on, but you are taking that market in a different way, the adoption is much faster if you're giving plus 1 2. Suppose marketing is giving you 1 2 3, and you are giving 1 2 3 4 and 5 additional two things or three things. It could be lower cost, or it could be some of the additional things which you are providing. So that's kind of key for your USPs, and that can help you to acquire more client as well in this space.
Correct, correct, correct. So, as talking about the competitors, the uniqueness in your idea. So, we have seen players like Cult.fit. They have different things like Aid.fit is there, Mind.fit, Care.fit. So, different offerings are there. So,
Mhm.
how do you think that your idea or your business is kind of unique and is creating a different kind of impact?
Yes, so I'll take that. So see that a lot of startup are there, that's for sure. And the Cult Fit is there. There is Healthify Me is there, and there are other a couple of 8P, Noom, and all other startups are
True.
there, which are targeting in the similar domain. The what we are looking, so over a period of time, we have to create some uniqueness and USPs in the market. So what we are doing internally, we are working on a model which is kind of preventive healthcare model using AI. So tomorrow you just having some issue, it's an assumption you will not hit it, I'm sure, but if you just upload a blood report or DNA report on our platform, it automatically suggests that within 3 months or 6 months how to cure those diseases. So that's what the platform we are working. So we have almost like a 3,000 plus cases which
Okay.
we have cured so far, and we have collected a lot of data. How what are the processes going, and we are using all that knowledge into AI backend, and which will be kind of preventive healthcare tool. And long term, we are looking to give it to doctors. So like whenever the doctor, when you visit doctor, they upload the blood report on our platform. They get the exact plan for to cure diabetes or any kind of diseases within 3 months or 6 months. So that's what we are looking to create, that awareness, which absolutely none of the companies in even the worldwide, it's not there as of now. But with our experience and past data we have collected, like last 15 months, we have been collecting every single minute details of the clients, and that's what we are putting those knowledge and the AI module, and that will be kind of key differentiator in the long run. So, and that's even though it could be other companies are very big or something like that, but it will be a key differentiator.
Basically, as
Absolutely.
his t-shirt says, we are future ready. So, we are the future. So we are getting ready the platform for the future, not just for the current scenario, targeting how the future is going to be, what will work in that.
Yeah, so see, past also, right? So, like when I started non-technologies, the competitor was Samsung Smart Thing. Okay, there was a Honeywell, and there were some incident. We have been replacing some of the top company product, and we have installed product. So it's not like that you are starting late means you will not reach. So at the time, the market is open for everyone. So and the 105 billion market in the India. So none of the startup in India so far world you've seen captured that much portion of the market alone. So every company and every startup has key role to play and portion of market they can capture. So it could be 1% or 10% or 50%, that varies, but there is opportunity for every startup. Even
Everybody,
though you
yes.
start tomorrow e-commerce store, there are like Flipkart or Amazon, you are giving 50% lower prices than other competitor, obviously people will come and buy from you. So right, so there is
True.
no competition or anything, but yeah, the market is open for everyone, so you have to play your cards carefully.
See, you are
So,
there in the market, that means something in that area is workable,
Yeah.
mhm,
right? So that's why you have started that, and you know the market, you have studied it. So you have to create your own niche for that, where people
true.
will come to you, choose you. You cannot force anyone at the end of it. So you have to create that niche, you have to have that USP where people will come looking for you rather than you going for them.
Yes,
And
yes.
that's absolutely in your hands.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Lakshmi, talking about such a huge market we have here in India. So, in abroad also, like we have seen lot of people like finding the Indian like things very interesting.
Yes.
Hmm.
So, what do you see, and how do you see like Lamifit in the next 5 years? So, I would say, what are your future plans?
So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So next, yeah, yeah, you can take it.
We are future couple. We are, a lot of plans are we are having. We are trying to acquire quite a bigger crowd. As you know, initially when Amul has suggested, we are coming up with our own DNA brand also, DNA testing also.
Yeah.
So DNA, Lami DNA it will be. So we are going to do the nutrition based on the DNA test. So we are going much more to that microscopic level where we are trying to tell you what the genes are telling you. It's not just me telling you what to eat, what not to eat, what your body is telling about yourself, what suits you, what does not suit you. Because the Western countries, if you see, it is widely accepted. India, it is not accepted. That awareness DNA, it is not there only that much. Only very niche crowd know about it, and only it is available only for the niche crowd also as of now. But we want to give that to opportunity to everybody. Okay, this is what your this is the DNA. We want to make it affordable, have it for everybody out there, so that they also can have the access to that what it is and all that. So we are coming up with quite a few products.
And next 5 year, I'm looking couple of like million people who are using a platform, and obviously some good revenue at the end. So that's a target. And but the major thing is we want to be kind of elite brand out there for any human issues like which is lifestyle diseases. The people should be looking for a lamifit. So that's what I want to create, that space, that name in this market. So it could be take like a 5 year or 6 year, but we are targeting that space. The valuation obviously is one part of it, but brand recognition is what we are looking more and keen.
Yes.
So any issues, Lamifit is there as a buddy with you, and that's what we are looking. And maximum number of clients which who are using your platform and getting health benefits out of it. So that's a kind of good feeling for us.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
So basically, yeah, we
Wishing you
want
luck for
Lamy
that.
Fit. Yeah, we want Lamy Fit to be part of everybody's health journey,
Like
whether it is whatever requirement, right?
Surely, surely. So for the participants also, if you have any questions, just feel free to unmute your mics, or maybe you can just type it in the chat section. So we'll be taking those questions as well.
yeah.
Yes,
So
sir, that.
Amol, continuing this, so we have seen in startup ecosystem, we say that we learn from successes as well as from failures.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
So I hope like during this journey for acquiring so many number of clients, so can you just describe the first customer you lost and what was the reason behind it?
Yeah, actually, the first personalized client we lost is recently. Actually, the purge happened like a 2 month back. So it was kind of referral coming from some of the partners which we tied up, and like after 1 month, she was like, "This is what this is not something which I wanted." So I think she can describe more better.
Yeah. See, at the end of it, individual's health is in your own hands, right? So we are only there to guide you, help you in every each and way. So we do, when we say personalized, right? So we do make sure that we help the client, whoever is coming on board, to have them a very good experience also with us, right? They should understand and know the way we are working. We are there to help you in every way. So but whatever we were doing at the same time, the equal responsibility lies on lies on the client part also.
Yes.
So without putting that effort, if they say that this is not something what I'm looking for, that yes did kind of
Yeah, so that's
That's
kind
a
of
kind
one
of learning.
client which
yes,
we lost, and I remember that. And so the reason could be it's the expectation mismatch. So
yes,
somebody wants a very spoon feeding, like sitting at home and letting them eat and all that. So, but that's what we were not doing. So our processes are completely different, hyper personalized and all that. So it was due to expectation mismatch. So
yes,
after that, we realized that we clear the client when they are onboarding the process. This is what the process is, and this is what you can expect from our side. So
yes.
first we make clear, that would be a better approach, I thought.
Yes.
So then we
So
change it
whatever
to the
the rules or whatever the steps, the process, we do make it very clear. But probably there was certainly some loophole where which the person thought this is what we are going to do and which we were not obviously doing it.
yeah.
So that so she or he expected something and we our process was slightly different from what the person was
Yeah.
expecting.
For
So
startups, I think first important thing is refund policies. Okay. Right. Whenever you are
yes,
right, be clear on refund policies, very crisp. Like that's more important, and whatever the privacy policy and all that, because when you launch, you don't see it, but when there are clients which are using, and certainly they come and ask you for refund and all these things, then it's get little messy. So better to have those policies crisp and clear
clear.
and upfront being told to user. So rather
Yes.
than you are not told or something, that should not happen with us. So that should be very clear in this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
And
lot of there are B2B startups as well, right?
Mhm.
Which deals with the distributors and dealers. Because I have been like last 4 year into that market, dealers and distributors. I have been managing a lot of thousands more dealers and all that. The biggest challenge is the tie-up, the terms of the business with those guys. It has to be very crisp. The exit policies has to be very crisp.
very
Otherwise, initially everything looks rosy when you're getting into marriage, right? It's everything looks rosy and crisp and all that, but sometime you'll have some issues. So for all those, you should have that written clarification that if something like this happen, I'll be doing this and all that, exit clause, or it could be refund and all that. So make sure it's very crisp from your side.
True,
basically
true.
what we're trying to say is like, create that set of instructions for
The
whatever step you
foundation
are
needs
looking.
to be focused
Yes, yes.
Yes,
initially.
properly make it clear at every point of the step, whatever process you are following, whatever the procedure, products, whatever it is, be clear from your side so that you will be able to defend it properly.
Properly, yes.
People
True,
should
true.
not come back and tell you, but you didn't do this. So then you can always say, Ki, this is what we have told you, this is what we have promised, and this is the delivery. That's it.
Yeah.
Correct, correct.
So you
So,
have to think in every angle, basic, because
yes,
you are the front face of it at the end of it. For your company, you are the face of it, right? So they will come to you only, nobody else.
true, true, true. So, on your website, I was just checking the testimonials from people like Manan Vohra, Amandeep Singh, Umesh Yadav, and Tanya. So these people, these celebrities. So, how easy or how difficult was it to pitch this Lemifit to these kind of people? And another question. So, what channels did you use while getting in touch with those people?
Um, yeah, I'll take that question. It's actually, they are really sweet people, all of the clients, not just the celebrities part, but even the other clients who have come from the normal basic background. Everybody has been till now, touchwood, we have never had any sour experience with any of our customers till now. It's always been really good, except for maybe the one person which Amul was mentioning right now. But otherwise, these acquisition was, yes, our experience in Lamifit helped us definitely. The background, both the tech background, our platform, the app, the procedure we follow, that was easy for us to pitch about it. So they also saw the credibility. They also saw the science and the steps how we are following the procedure. It is not just saying ki, okay, ठीक है diet है तो फिर okay, this is what you should eat, this is what not should. We don't do that, right? We properly, the process is very very hyper personalized. So that process itself convinced them when we pitched to them, right? This is what we start with. We start with a blood test, we start with a body analysis, we do a DNA test, and then only we do this diet chart and said so. And when they saw the results immediately, with when the counseling itself, right, we do give certain suggestions. We understand the pain points and give the suggestions then and there itself also. So
Sure.
just with few points only, they could see that okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's
And
how it was.
yeah. So basically, what you find, so basically, you want to reach those audience, so you have to find a middleman who can gets to you, gets to those persons. So basically, you have a business partnership with those people. So that's how it's the in India market the revenue sharing model works. So that's if you get this many clients, you get the percentage of the money and all that, and that's how then they introduce because easily going and talking to some celebrity, that's not going to work out, but there should be some middleman, and then the process
Who
work.
can introduce you basically?
And
The
that's
person
our
who can
business model,
introduce
and a lot of people also coming through that. So what we do, we tie up with the doctors or different kinds of gym owners or trainers or physiotherapists, so where which who sells our product. So and they have their touch points, so they could be celebrity trainers or they could be anyone, right? So training a lot of people, so you need to find those kind of trustworthy touch points across the market and have a deal with them, so they are easily available on LinkedIn, or you can have own sales team to reach those people, and then it's easy, so share some revenue with them. So basically that's how the Indian market works as of now.
to
It's more of
create a
a,
chain basically, like contacts. Create your
yeah.
contacts so that they will introduce
True,
you to
true,
a
true.
bigger audience, because there is only so much people you can reach out to if you are going directly. But if you have these channels to reach out to the lot of other people, celebrities or the bureaucrats, anyone, right? So going through them, it makes the process also easier because they have taken your credibility directly to the
People.
concerned person. So
Yes.
then it is easier for you to pitch also.
True. So we have very, so this session is getting very good, but we have very small time.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's already 1:20.
Yes,
So
yes.
what is the last like piece of advice for all the young budding entrepreneurs who are just starting their business? So any advice from your side?
From me, I think don't give up. It came out of a lot of 5 years of startup experience. If you give up, then you will not see the success. So you have to keep changing, keep evolving, keep modifying your products, which actually so till you find a product market fit. Because finding the right product market fit is a big challenge. Whatever you launch product at a level A means when you're launching, and when your final stage product, it's completely different, which are more accessible and all that. So find that product market fit and then start putting money on the marketing and sales team. Operate low and lean startup apply.
Yes.
Don't spend unnecessary money anywhere for any kind of services, as long as you're doing a lot of things. With Lamy, like we have spent almost like nothing on the tech actually, to be honest, because I am taking care every bits and pieces of the platform. That's because of this tech guy. So work lean model and don't give up. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
So
From
passion,
Lakshmi?
follow your passion. Yeah, follow your passion. Definitely not. It's not going to be easy. Trust me, guys, it's not going to be easy. But yes, it will be a beautiful journey. You will remember it throughout your lifetime. This is what you have started because that's how you are associated with, right? So it will be your passion. It will be ultimately your own baby. So don't give up. Keep at it. Focus on, as almost a lean startup. There are so many ways to channelize or market, right? But you do what you can do. First, start with your own self. Start with a smaller crowd, maybe 10 people, like, 4 5 people. Start with that. Then slowly grow up once you know that, okay, I'm already set. Let me expand a little bit more. Then you get a bigger crowd. Don't go suddenly hire 20 to 100 people and then go all
Yeah, because
put
you
all
get,
in,
yeah, you get one chance with each client. If that time you fail, that
Correct.
client will not come again back
come
to
back again.
you
True,
ever.
That's
true.
it.
So whenever you are approaching larger audience, so try your, like, say that your audience is now initially when you launch 100 people or 1,000 people. Set that and try to find as many faults in your product in that space, because that's not going to multiply. And once you find that right product, then you start with a larger audience.
Larger audience.
And there is a right business strategy in India, especially this B2B or this one. A lot of people, this dealership, distributorship market works, right? Even though this thyrocare also, right? That's also they are doing. It's a online platform, but they inherently they are partnering with different people who sells their blood test. So a lot of people in India, especially business, it's more of dealership, distributorship. We get a lot more actually client acquisition that. So try different methods as of now, and it's a lot of combinations, to be honest, actually.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right. The
So I hope we had some more time because this discussion was again going was very interesting. But with this note, I think we'll close it here.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
on behalf of Arthayan, AICSK, and all the participants, I would like thank you both Amol and Lakshmi for coming here and being
Thank
a
you.
part of this cohort at much for your time.
We are, thank you very much for
Thank you
giving
so
us
much.
platform to share our story. It's a
Experiences, yes.
wonderful. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
be, definitely anybody can approach us on LamiFet, and if they have any questions, they can always reach out to us.
Please do, yeah.
Sure, sure. I have already like shared your website on this chat section, so anybody will, if any having any kind of questions, they can definitely reach out to you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely. Yeah.
Thank you. All the
Thank
best,
you.
everybody.
Yeah,
Thank
all
you
the best to
also.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah. So Amol and Lakshmi, you can just leave this session
Yes.
because again at 1:30 we have another
Okay.
session.
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
So the
Thank
Okay.
you.
next speaker
Okay.
will be joining us.
Good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again. So participants, we have one more session. In next 5 minutes, we'll start that, and we have one more founder coming in who will be sharing his stories with all of us. Just be tuned, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. Amit, hello.
Hi, Kapil.
Just a second. Hello. Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, hi. Yeah,
Yeah.
you are, Kapil.
So I will start and the participants will keep on coming. So dear participants, we have
Sure.
Mr. Amit Kumar, founder of
Wait
Galaxy
a
Car
second.
today.
I don't think my video is streaming to you guys. Something is wrong.
Yes, yes.
Issue with my camera. I don't think that's turning on.
So just above the camera, there is a kind of selection menu. So if you can just,
Yeah, I did that. I think it has enabled it, but the
yeah, now
okay.
it's
Yeah,
visible.
great. Thanks.
So, participants, today we have Mr. Amit Kumar, founder of Galaxy Card with us. So, a brief about Galaxy Card. So, Galaxy Card is a mobile-based instant credit card. It is aimed to provide a working card to credit-worthy customers in a matter of minutes and to give them access to quick on-demand credit and improve their quality of life. So, a Galaxy Card has recently raised an undisclosed amount of funding from Eagle Ventures, Samyak Capital, Gopinath Latpate, India Accelerators. So, a brief about Amit as well. So, an engineer by education and an entrepreneur at heart. So, Amit is passionate about finding the best way to solve a problem in the most simplistic manner with the least time to go to market. Having worked as a developer for close to 9 odd years, he has realized that it's not technology that makes a business, it only helps to scale. The secret to building a sustainable business is to be frugal and agile. With the same approach, Amit is building Galaxy Card, the instant credit card, to help you make your first payment with the credit card in next 3 minutes. So, Amit, we would like to welcome you here at Gearbox Accelerating Startups. And we'd first like to know more about Galaxy Card, how this idea came to your mind, and so far, how was your entrepreneurial journey? You have muted your mic, Amit.
Is it? Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, it's fine.
Am I audible now?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So the story of Galaxy Card actually started back in 2010. So in college, what used to happen was that we would order from Domino's and the delivery boy would come. Unfortunately, the nearest ATM was about 4 kilometers away, and at that time we would really have to borrow money from my batchmates uh, to keep myself dying from starvation. So at that time, the idea was, what if I could somehow pay with this delivery guy with my debit card? Unfortunately, didn't have a credit card at that time as a student. Uh, and that was the same time when Square had launched, wherein you could plug a device into the smartphone's speaker, the headphone jack.
Mhm.
And it was a great product. The problem was delivery boys were still using that Nokia 3315 or the feature phones of those eras. And there was no way for them to actually manage digital payments, online payments, to enable at present transaction as well. And when I say at present, it means when you're facing the merchant or the person you have to pay. And that led to the creation of eSmart, which was acquired by PayU in 2014 and became the PayU Money app. Well, whatever happened, we couldn't become the Paytm at that time, but otherwise it would have been a very different story. But once that happened, the idea was what's next. And when 2016, the PM announced more demonetization, the idea was that UPI had come in, wallets was the king at that time. And the thought process was pretty much this, that wallets were trying to create a UPI ecosystem of their own. Essentially, what they were really trying to do was trying to create a kind of a bank account that was in their control. And then they could immediately move money between two bank accounts.
Correct.
right? That was exactly what a wallet was. Now, with the advent of UPI, there was no reason for somebody to create a wallet. Every bank account could work exactly like a wallet. And, that kind of led me to the lesson that, finance system cannot be just about moving money. It has to be something deeper. And going back to the time when in 2010 we were trying to pay with debit cards, the idea was how do we make it easy for people to pay money that they don't have on them yet right now. And when talking to a lot of drivers, house aides, delivery boys, it turned out that these people were also kind of in a similar student-like manner. They were borrowing from their peers, they were borrowing from their neighbors, they were borrowing from their co-workers. And the problem was if they got late in paying those bills, they had to face the social shame. यार पैसे कब वापस करेगा? तूने कहा था कि हफ्ते दे देगा, तुमने अभी तक दिए नहीं. So that kind of social shame vanishes when you have a company, a faceless company of sorts, to not pay. You can become overdue, you can start paying them interest, but there is no social shame attached. So that's how we create the idea of Galaxy Card, that we enable these people to have access to daily use, simple credit, not like loans wherein you have to apply every single time, pay a processing fee, and have to spend 3-4 approval and the disbursement. Something that is approved once and is for you to use over and over again every single time you need money.
Perfect. So I was just wondering. So we have seen a lot of instant credit card models in India. So how is the revenue pattern in your case? Like how Galaxy Card is making revenues in this case?
So we are exactly like a credit card couple in this case that when you typically make a payment with a plastic credit card taken from a bank and say you want to pay the store 100 rupees, the store doesn't really get 100. He gets somewhere between 97 to 99, depending on the arrangement. That 3 or 1 rupee that is missing from what you paid and what got paid to the merchant is what the bank keeps as an interest for this, for giving you as the customer an interest-free period. In a similar manner, we have certain arrangements with our merchants, wherein when you pay 100 rupees to them, they will typically get somewhere between 97 to 99. And whatever is left is taken by us as an interest for giving you the interest-free period. And obviously, if you do not pay your dues by the due date, we will charge you an interest to recover our losses.
Okay.
So it works exactly like a credit card.
Yeah, definitely. So do you think this business model is unique than its competitors? Is there anything that you would like to mention?
So, Kapil, there are two parts to the business model. One is how the revenue structure is placed, wherein how we earn when a transaction happens, how we earn interest on a customer rate. We purposefully chose not to change that because that has been working really, really well for the last 18 years. And that's a great business model to be in. Correct. What we are really changing is how people approach that business, the business structure. And that's not to go after the people who already have a credit card, not to go after the audience who the banks are running after, but to those people who want to have a credit card, who have a need of getting a credit card, but the banks are telling them, no, you can't. So despite these people being credit worthy, they are being denied a service that is of value to them. And by serving these customers, we are able to bring in a business model that has been proven to an audience that has been not served. Cool. And in a manner which makes it really easy for us to scale. So we don't have to deploy people to sell and get the sales process done, which makes it very economical for us to reach out to these audience.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Amit, talking about the current situation about the COVID, and so what are your future plans? So, what is your vision for the company?
So, Kapil, interestingly, COVID has actually been a great time for us. We've been able to scale massively. Most of our peers actually stopped lending during COVID. We, on the other hand, increased our lending during COVID. In fact, what we did was for some of our customers who were creditworthy, we also went ahead and increased their credit limits because we understood that this is a difficult time for them and having a cash flow would really, really help them a lot. We in fact also introduced the option of making partial payments of their bill. So if somebody, they had a bill of say 5,000 rupees and they didn't have that much cash on them, they could now pay 1,000 rupees and 2,000 rupees, and we will not take any legal action against them for the non-payment of the dues during COVID times. So these kind of things really helped us grow really, really well. In fact, they've helped us so much that earlier our word of mouth marketing was used to be about 30% of our signups. Today, it's more than 40%. And we, unlike Paytms and PhonePe, we actually don't give any customer benefit कि 50 रुपए cashback मिल जाएगा अगर आप रेफर कर दोगे अपने दोस्तों को. We don't do that. And despite that, the growth and the model of operation that we took during COVID helped us get a goodwill in our customers.
Okay. And while I was just checking your website, so initially, like on the front page, it's given there are no joining charges, no interest, no annual fee. So what other features there are in this Galaxy card?
So very simply, Kapil, it works exactly like a credit card. So you get the exact same features, like you can convert a big spend to an EMI. आपको आज कुछ बड़ा अमाउंट खरीदना है, you can do that, but आप उसे अगले 3 महीने में आराम से चुकाओ, no problems. And similarly, you can pay your bills. आपने आज use किया, you don't have to bother about paying the bill back for about 45 days. So you can easily club इस महीने की salary plus अगले महीने की salary to buy something huge now, and then अगले महीने की salary जब आ जाएगी 2 महीने का पैसा मिला के आप bill pay कर देना. So you can easily combine, एक तरह से आपने 1 महीने पहले फोन खरीद लिया, जो आप अगले महीने खरीदते हो आप आज खरीद पाओगे. So those kind of things. Plus we are now also improving on ways that you can do, the kind of spend you can do. So अभी तक आप say for example सिर्फ बिजली का बिल भर पाते थे. Now we are going saying कि खाना भी मंगाने लायक हो जाएगा. You can directly pay to for Zomato, Swiggy or whatever using Galaxy card. We are now introducing different modes of, you can do a bus booking on Galaxy card. So practically all those things that you would have gone to different apps using your credit card to pay, you can now do everything inside the Galaxy card app right away, where the credit card is just a way of payment. It kind of, so think of it, what we're trying to do is we're trying to say that it's kind of a Paytm-esque app, where जहाँ पे कर दो सब कुछ सकते हैं, लेकिन पैसे कहीं और से लाने की जरूरत नहीं, पैसे भी आपको इसी ऐप में मिल जाएंगे.
That in your account already.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Amit, so what we have seen in the startup ecosystem, usually when we think about starting some business, so there is an idea initially. So in your case, how have you adapted the idea from the original vision?
So Kapil, when we started off, one of the biggest things we were trying to do was not to get into lending ourselves. We didn't want to, get into the process where we decide who gets a limit, we decide how they spend it, where we decide how to collect money from them. What we wanted to do was we wanted to bring this technology to lenders like banks and NBFCs and SBI cards, for example, wherein we wanted to sell this as a platform for them to be able to sell better to their audience and to also reach out to the audience that they were not being able to serve because of their costs up until now. Unfortunately, that is something that we could never ever sell on the market, and we had to adapt to bringing this onto ourselves and instead of becoming a B2B company, we became a B2C company.
Yeah.
Similarly, the regular changing landscape in 2018 forced us to move from working with regular NBFCs to working with P2P NBFCs. They have much easier ways of operations, plus they are much more approachable than traditional NBFCs, because traditional NBFCs generally, they used to get scared when you tell them that there will be an interest-free period. They were like, "No, आप एक काम करो, interest वाले दिन से लो, then we can start working with you."
Okay.
P2P NBFCs were much more accommodative because they themselves were a new age company in that sense.
We have a question here from Mr. Siddhartha Reddy. So, sir, curious to ask general doubt, when the person with run out rather than payback credit amount, how will be the approach? Is there any obstacle? So what will happen if any person will run out without paying the credit amount? Amit, hello.
Hi.
Hello, Amit.
Hello.
Yeah, am I audible, Amit? Hello.
Hello.
Amit, there seems to be some network issue. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, now Amit, am I audible?
Yeah, you are. I think my network got dropped or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the question was more about collection.
yes. So what will happen if a person won't pay back, if he'll run out away?
Sure. Sure. So typically, it's exactly as I said, everything happens exactly like a credit card. So the money is being lent by a P2P NBFC, which is authorized by RBI to do the lending.
Yeah.
And in a similar manner, when you take a loan from a bank and don't pay back, the same things will happen here as well. So to give you an example, if you do not pay your money on time, the PAN number that we have will automatically be reported to the credit bureau that so and so has taken so much money and has not repaid it back, which will decrease your credit score. Now, tomorrow, if you go and try to get another loan, the banks will see that you have a history of not paying the money, and they will deny you your loans as well until you settle all those loans.
Correct.
We can also do a court case against you for non-payment of your bills. And there are other specific methods that we use to ensure that we have a higher chance of collecting your money. A few examples are what we do is we take auto debit consent on your our bank account. So if and whenever we need to withdraw money from you, we need to charge you for some amount, we can do that automatically. And we do that in a very smart manner that we know which bank account of your is getting money. So for example, which is your active bank account, and we have ways to figure out when they will probably have money. So we can automatically decide the date to debit it when we are most expecting you to have money in that account.
Sure. So
Oh,
Amit,
and by the way, if that bounces, it's considered a crime. It used to be considered a crime. Now it's considered more of a civil case. Earlier, it used to be considered as a criminal case.
sure. So we have seen like such a huge customer acquisition done by Galaxy Card in the last few years. So for new entrepreneurs, so what would you suggest should be the critical things they need to consider while launching their marketing campaigns or looking for building a sales funnel? So what are the things they need to look at?
Sure. So, Kapil, one of the things that, as you mentioned in my bio, I am a firm believer of being agile and being frugal. So, one of the things that, we focus heavily on is that and one of the things that I really, really believe is that it's easy to start getting customers by throwing money in the market and running some ads. You will definitely get a few hundred customers easily.
True.
The problem is that those 100 customers will take you into a false trap that your product is something that is scalable. It is something that the company, the people will want, and it is something that you can now start throwing more money and grow.
True.
That's the worst kind of trap to be in for an entrepreneur, primarily because it takes you into the false pretext of being comfortable with what you're doing, and it takes you deeper into your own thought process that what you're doing is awesome and this is exactly what the world wants. The best way for somebody to figure out what their product is and how should they go about marketing it and how they should to go about scaling it is to start trying to get customers by giving no incentive to customer to sign up, by giving them the shittiest possible product and still getting the customers, and the customers coming back to you and telling you that this is what they would want, this is what is missing in your product, and this is what will change their lives for the better if the product improves in this manner. That typically will help you understand, why is it that your customers are using your product. Taking our own example, we've interviewed with Y Combinator more than once now. And the first time we went to the US to interview with them, The
Mm-hmm.
question there was, why do people want your credit card? What is it that makes them come to you? And we had kind of expected this. And what we done was we had called 200 of our customers and each interviewed each one of them to understand why were they coming to us, why were they not going to a bank to get a credit card. Some of them even in fact had a credit card and still they were using us as their primary mode of payment. And that kind of gave us a lot of insight into why our customers loved us, and that is what helped us improve and understand what is the marketing that we need to say, speak. So earlier we used to believe the 3 minutes is our sales pitch, but what it turned out was that the convenience of having a card on their phone, which they can use like an UPI app of sorts, is actually the primary driver. The 3 minutes by itself is a you know the reason it's still there in the tagline. What I mean by that is that it's an easier way for them to get them to sign up right now. Otherwise, they'll be like, "अच्छा चलो कल sign up कर लूँगा, time लगेगा शायद," because that's the conceived notion that people have about credit card, that it takes long. Hence, we continue to have the 3 minutes in our tagline. But the reason we always have the no joining fee, no annual fee, and interest-free period, always mentioned around that 3 minutes, is primarily because that is our USP. That is what customers love about us, and that is exactly why they don't use a bank or credit card and want to stick with us.
Sure, Amit. So, Amit, recently, like I also got a chance to work with one of the fintech startups based in Mumbai. So that was Pods Ventures, and they are again a lending platform, but their business model is something different. Like they provide loans for people who are going to spas, salons, shopping, such kind of things. So again, they were having this model where they provide instant credit to the customers. But one thing, while working with them, I realized that at their back end, like they were having a very huge team. Okay, so people who were
Kapil,
yeah.
I couldn't hear you. You got broken. You said while they give instant credit.
Yeah, so at their back end, like they were having a very big team, like who were checking their PAN card details, their credit history, their CIBIL score. So I think for a startup, for them, I'm not sure about you, just wanted to know from you. So they were like having a team of around 15 to 20 people who were doing just this job. Okay, so just wanted to
Mhm.
understand from you. So how is it the back end process at Galaxy Card, and what is the like current team size that you have?
Sure. So if you again go back to what my bio, you referred there, I am more about the person who says technology does not build a business. It only helps you scale, right? So although on the other hand, in our case we had technology for this from day one, but not everything. So a lot of processes even today are very very manual, and technology follows when they become unscalable for us. So similarly, a lot of startups, even the example that you mentioned, it is completely okay to have people sitting behind and still giving a near instant experience to the customer, because the customer doesn't care if it's a computer that is solving his queries, if it's people, or if it is monkeys, right? For them, what really matters is that the problem is getting solved. And once you reach a level where it becomes impossible for you to scale the team further and still manage a business that is profitable, that's when you should start investing in technology. And having said that, up until July, we were just a team of two co-founders.
Okay.
Now we're just a team of 4 people, and we handle practically everything.
Amazing. So, Amit, like we are seeing like Galaxy Card is exploring as well as like growing by leaps and bounds. But for you, like there must be something like in your personal life. So, how do you define like success for yourself?
So there is no personal life for an entrepreneur. Let me be very frank. Uh, if anyone has ever been a parent here, they would understand what happened when you had a baby. You don't live for yourself; you live and exist for serving the baby.
Yeah, sure. So
Yeah.
this
So
was
that's
I was
kind of the same
expecting
thing
this.
when you start a startup. The startup is your baby. Sorry.
No, I said I was expecting this kind of reply.
Yes. So your startup is your baby, and you live and exist solely for the purpose of serving it, right? There have been cases when we've had sleepless nights for a whole week. There have been times when we've had to, cancel our personal plans just because there was something going on, and that was very critical. Because as a startup, it's important to realize that you don't really have a so technically in the whole business world, is taught to you is that always have fallbacks. Unfortunately, as a startup, you never ever can have a fallback. Every single point in your process flow is a bottleneck, and every single one of them is capable of, if it dies, it is capable of killing you as well.
True, true. Absolutely. We have one question here. So, is Galaxy Card under RBI guidelines? I mean, what type of financial intermediary is it? A FinTop? I think it would. Fin, you got this?
We do not fall under the, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
So we do not fall under the purview of RBI primarily because we work with an NBFC. And what the NBFC has given us the rights for is basically what is called being a DSA, as well as their technology partner, as well as their collection agency. So we act on behalf of the NBFC to collect documentation from the customers, to bring new customers to the NBFC. Similarly, we work with the NBFC as a tech partner to help them process those documents and understand who they should give a credit limit to and how much credit limit should be given. And then we work with the NBFC as a collection agency to ensure that whoever has used whatever amount should be able to pay them back. And we take the responsibility of contacting and reminding these customers that their bill is due.
Okay. Okay. So I hope, like Siddharth, you got the answer. With a lot of technology rounding around your business, so and again a team of, as you said, like 4 people are there. So, what is the company's biggest threat according to you?
So as I said, one and the only threats that we have faced till now over and over again is the changing landscape in terms of regulations. Hopefully that is now becoming smoother and smoother as we go forward. But the interest of people, RBI is always looking forward to keep the interest and the one of the problems that generally people face is that when they see free money being distributed, they will jump onto it without reading what is happening in terms of what's the business there, is their money safe, is their data safe, or so on and so forth. So with all those conditions, RBI always has to ensure that if they keep a good check on people getting into this business, which sometimes also happens to affect people who are doing genuine business and are genuinely concerned about the customer.
Mm-hmm.
And to weed out and sort out all those threats, RBI, it kind of becomes a necessary evil for us to bear with.
Sure.
So that kind of continues to remain a big threat for us. And as I said, any single threat to a small startup is a life-threatening step. So all these changes continue to be very, very critical to our business.
Mhm. Okay, okay. So, Amit, this Founders Week, as I told you earlier also, so we have multiple weeks in this cohort. So after this, there would be something as the Investors Week, in which a lot of participants would be pitching their ideas to investors. And we have seen that Galaxy Card has also raised some money for its operations and for its other expenses. So, what advice would you give to these young budding entrepreneurs who are looking to raise money for their respective startups?
One of the first things that you need to look at is to be able to keep a good check on how much you're spending and how much money do you really need, and define a timeline by for which time that you want to raise the money for. It's really important that you understand the financial needs and the financial well-being of your business very well, because ultimately you have to convince somebody else that you can understand and use the money well. And I'll again take a quick example of myself. When I was starting up in 2011, and I wanted to do a business of my own. At that time, coming out as a student from college, 5 lakh rupees seemed like a huge amount. And I set off raising about 10 lakh rupees for my business then. And people would ask me, how would you even manage more than 3 months in 10 lakhs?
Correct.
And I was like, dude, 10 lakhs is so much money. How would I even spend 10 lakhs? I can maximum spend maybe 20,000 in a month. And fast forwarded to today, I can easily tell you that it's very easy to scale your business. And with that scaling, you can easily start spending more than maybe 5 lakhs a month.
True.
So, it's really important that you understand would go. And as much as the PM quote says that it's easy to do business in India, that ease also comes with 1,000 of compliances, and each of those compliances can cost you a lot of money as well. And each of those things you need to be able to account for. I'm not saying you need to know everything will cost 10 rupees, this will cost me 1,000 rupees, this will cost me 50,000. But you should know that there are going to be a lot of variables. So always keep yourself in a space where you have maybe about 10-15% of the money that you're spending. Always assume that it will be at least 10%, 15 more that you will be spending in unaccounted stuff. And then another 20% that you will be spending on miscellaneous stuff. For example, it's easy to say that, I have taken care of the server costs, I have taken care of the employee costs, I have taken care of the office costs. But then you will realize you've forgotten the cost of printing papers. You've forgotten the cost of getting, stamp papers. You've forgotten the cost of having to courier those papers from you to somebody else. So a lot of expenses of these sorts will always keep cropping up. And these are not, by the way, compliance costs, right? These are random costs. So have about a total of about 35% of the pool that you're expecting to spend, add 35% to it to actually get to a place where you can comfortably make more spends. That's the first part. Know that how much money you need and how you will spend it, and have a very good picture of how and when will you start making money and when you will become profitable. Unless and until you really know, and be very cautious. It's easy to think that you'll be profitable in 3 months. Trust me, that never happens. Customers are not waiting for you to suddenly come out of the picture. If that was the case, there is definitely going to be a competitor out there in the market who is doing something or the other, either worse than you or in a different manner than you, who's solving the same need as the customer. Customers are very jugadu. They always know how to solve their problems, even if they don't know that's one of their problems yet. And another thing investors hate is when you tell them that you don't have a competitor. So otherwise, if you don't have a competitor, what you're doing is useless, or you don't leave it. So for example, here, do you guys know what the competitor of Netflix is?
I would say
it's actually sleeping. Netflix does not want you to sleep.
True. Amit, hello.
And one last thing that I would like to add here is that if you're going to raise funds, please do not. Yeah, hello. Can I?
Yeah. Now it is okay. There's some connection.
Okay, perfect. I'm saying the last thing that I wanted to add was that if you are trying to pitch to investors, please do not blindly email every single investor you find somewhere who has written in the profile that I'm an investor. That's the worst way to go raising funds for. Please invest time in figuring out what their interests are, what companies have they invested in. You definitely do not want to talk to investors who've invested in a competition of yours, essentially because that will waste your time and investors' time, because he will politely pass off saying that there's a conflict of interest. So do your research. Invest your time only in investors who work in your domain, who have an interest in your domain, and have not worked with your competition.
Right. So rightly said, like having enough cash in hand before even pitching to the investors, or even like checking and monitoring the expenses. And as you said, like check your expectations, because there might be some any other player out there who will be doing the same kind of business. And again, having a great look at and doing a lot of research before even like discussing your idea will be the critical aspect while raising funds. So,
Yep.
Amit,
Yep.
also like when this idea of Galaxy card, like it came into your mind. So, what was the reaction when you discussed this with your family, friends, or maybe with your network?
And unfortunately, in my family, nobody understands finance. So they were like, अच्छा जैसे कि हमें कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, तू अपने आप देख ले. But a lot of my friends, in fact, they were the ones who actually led me to fine tune the product that I was coming out with.
Yeah.
And essentially, the way you ask questions is what really matters. Had I asked them, "Do you need a credit card?" They would have like, "Nah, nah, it's a middle range."
Okay.
So it's really important to ask the proper questions when you're talking to people, when you are trying to tell them what you're trying to do, but you also want to get a feedback on what you're really trying to do. Is it useful, or is it just some horse crap that you thought of?
True, true, true.
So yeah, so those kind of reactions, and one of the biggest reactions I wanted was from my potential audience. And the easiest way and the most easy access I had to were delivery boys. So every time I would order food, I would hold that guy up with me for another 10-15 minutes and have a deep chat with him on how he manages his finances. And if he got this kind of a product, how would it help him, and how would he his life change from those are the kind of real feedback that you potentially want to have as well, because those are the kind of people you will start making money from tomorrow.
Interesting. Yeah, absolutely. So, Amit, one thing also like that usually comes in the mind of an entrepreneur, maybe I won't say at a bigger scale, but people who are in very early seed stage or maybe at the ideation stage. So, what will happen if this company fails? So, has ever this thought come in your mind, or is there any plan B for you?
Huh, interesting. So the thought has always come. It's always there in the back of the mind, because it's not easy to take a jump into entrepreneurial space. And even despite I have done it twice before on a larger level, uh, it's not easy to continue in this space, because as I said, it's not, you don't have a personal life anymore. And you have family and friends who need your time, who need your who need your inputs, and they need you in their life, and you can't be there for them. And it's not easy. There are, and especially when the times when you have not been able to raise funds yet, and your business is growing, but it's growing not as much as you would like it to be. Those are always the days when it's easy to become rejected. It's easy to think of just calling it quits and moving on. But it's really, really important to have a support structure in place. People who can, lift you out of those times, who can help you, recharge yourself, who can help you put you back on your feet, and not just help you walk again, but start, pushing you towards running, and help you not fall when you start running as well. So having a plan B, unfortunately, is saying that I want to start running, having 50 kgs attached, weights of 50 kgs attached to your feet. So never ever have a plan B there. But again, that said, always be mindful of the fact that what are your value, what is your value to the society, in the
Correct.
sense that for you know, let's say shit hits the fan and you are, you're forced to close, or your product didn't really work out. Is there something that you can fall back to if the need comes to be? Do not keep that open that, if this doesn't work, I'll go back there. But there always needs to be something that you can do if this does not work out.
Very nicely
So,
answered.
I mean, I know this may sound a little confusing, but yeah, what I mean to really say is that don't, take it as a support. Just have it that in case you fall back, there is a pillow and you don't fall too hard.
True, true, true. Very nicely answered, Amit. So another thing, so mostly founders, what like we have seen is that the team is very essential for running any startup or any business. So also like people who are in their very ideation stage or looking to have a good sound team. So what do you think? Like, what is your take on having a kind of team, and maybe what are the key aspects that a person should look at while hiring any employee?
Sure. So, Kapil, one of the things that I really, really believe in hiring is that you don't want people who have a certain skill. You also want people who have a lot of passion for what they're doing. If they do not believe in what they're doing, in what value they're bringing to your team, then essentially they will be a waste of your time and money. Not because they are not good people, just because their interests, their passions, their their output that they want from this job is not aligned with what you are looking for. So it's really important to have a team which believes in what you're doing, within your goals, and who can help run along with you in that in the race. For example, in a F1 team, not everybody is driving the car, right? But it's really, really important for every single person in the team to be at their top of the game when the car drives into the pit stop. Any milliseconds of delays in not getting that car back on track can be disastrous to the whole team, right? So you don't want somebody who's not at the top of their game, not by just their skills, but also by the kind of attitude they bring in. And the attitude is what really comes in from what their goals are.
Correct, correct. So, Amit, like before, I understand the success of Galaxy Card and how is it coming up in the Indian market. So, a couple of items you wish you knew before you started. Can you just name a couple of items that you would have known before starting this business?
Items like,
Maybe few things, few learnings that you have now learned, but maybe you
oh, okay,
known before it.
got it. So as I mentioned, a few of the learnings I've already shared. That it's Yeah. So as I mentioned, for few of the learnings I've already shared up until now, one of them is that when you're starting first, if this is, if you've never dealt with hundreds or even thousands or millions in rupees yet, it's easy for you to look at a small amount and say, oh my God, this is too much money, and understand that you really need lots of capital. And sometimes it's easy to think that, oh my God, I am getting 1 crore in funding. Oh my God, this will be so much money I can never spend in all my lifetime. Please understand, when you're running a business, 1 crore can, disappear like that. So that is really important, as I said, to be very, very mindful. Financial discipline is really important, not just in your business, in your personal life as well. You might expect that, 6 months baad we will have a profitable business. I'll draw a salary of 5 lakhs a month and I'll be the richest person working on earth. Uh, as I said again, that never happens. Good businesses take years and years to become stable and successful. And all along those times, there'll be tons of hardships. There'll be tons of personal life setbacks that you'll have to walk through, and you'll need to be ready for each of them. So having a good financial discipline will ensure that all of those are soft landings for you, and you don't fall too hard that you just can't get up again. Other than that, it's really important to be agile. Unless you are agile and you're easily ready to dispose of whatever preconceived notions you may have had about your product, about your market, about yourself, it doesn't matter. You should be really, really, in a position to be able to throw them away and start thinking on a parallel new track completely. Giving you an example here, it's easy to say that, I will launch my credit card and everybody will start jumping on because everybody needs a card. again, nobody gives a shit about who you are. Nobody even knows you are there. There are millions of people out there in the world. You need to be heard. But going back to the fact, do not throw money on being heard. You need people to talk about you. You need people to feel the need that they want to advertise you. And that's when
Absolutely.
you've created a good product.
True. I agree. We have a question. So, sir, what is a return on equity for every 1 rupee of Galaxy Card share capital?
So unfortunately, I can't share those yet.
Yeah, that is okay. So, Amit, we have seen like in this fintech space, a lot of startups are coming with different ideas. So, in your business, so what do you think? Like, what will be the technological implication while exploring more markets, like while expanding yourself? So, what would be the technical implications in your business?
Sure. So Kapil, one of the the biggest things that is really really required. In fact, my wife was just talking about how Facebook and MySpace, they really differ in their core beliefs. Was that Mark generally always says that the day we stop innovating is the day we become dead. MySpace died because they thought we are now the market leaders. Nobody can kick us out.
True.
And that continues to be one of the biggest fears that keeps us motivated and driven every day, even today,
Yeah.
is that the day we think that we've created the top product and we are unbeatable, that's the first day we get beaten. And that continues to be not just in terms of technology, but it also in terms of our NPS, in terms of in terms of our customer service, in terms of our processes, everything. We keep trying to innovate and trying to improve upon what we do and how we do it. And one of the easiest ways that I've figured this out, and I really want to thank my first employer for giving me this learning, is the easiest way to stay ahead of the game is by being in touch with your customers every single day. And the way we do it is that everyone in our team, every single one, be it a tech support, be it a analyst, be it a customer service representative, be it a manager, everyone in every single company that I've worked with has been pushed to do customer support. And that has been so valuable to us that there have been new products that were created in our company primarily only and only because our customers were looking for it. We had not got even a single clue from ourselves that this could be made into a product. To
True.
give you an example, about a year ago, we never had the capital to lend as many number users we had. So one of the things that easily what we thought could be done was to put people on a wait list. So as and when we got more capital, we will keep approving more and more users. And while doing customer support, a few users said, "अरे जितने पैसे लेने ले लो यार, मुझे आज approve कर दो."
Okay.
And we saw that this was not coming just from one user. This was multiple users who were saying कि कुछ waitlist की fees नहीं होती क्या? Fees लेके approve कर दो. And that helped us realize, oh wow, we can actually have a waitlist approval fee.
Yeah.
And that kept us alive for 3 months.
Okay. Amazing.
So it's really important to be in touch with your customers. That itself will drive your revenue streams. It will drive your business. It will drive your technology. It will drive your processes. It will drive everything.
Okay. Yeah. So, for participants, if you have any questions, you can just unmute your mic or you can just type in the chat section. So, we'll take those questions as well. So, also, like we have only 5 to 10 minutes only. So, Amit, so what is that one piece of advice that you would share with other entrepreneurs who are just attending this cohort?
Sure. Sorry, what was the last part again?
Hello. Yeah. So, what is that one piece of
Yeah,
advice
sorry.
that you would share with the young entrepreneurs?
Got it. Sure. So one of the the big learnings that I would say, in fact I just said it a few minutes ago, is that do not get lost in your product by yourself. Each one of us really thinks that what we are making is the big thing of tomorrow, and since we spend so much time with it, it's easy to fall in love with it. Always and always be ready to throw that product out, throw it in the garbage, and be ready to work on something else, what your customers are looking for. In fact, sometimes you might even want to ditch your customers and move on to a completely different customer set. Example, I could have gone ahead and created a credit card for the richest of the rich, but do they really need a credit card? Right? They don't. Probably not. Why? Because every single bank is giving them a credit card. They're asking their lives to get a credit card for them. They can give him a much better credit card than I can ever, because they will always want international card, international acceptance. They will want reward points. They will want lounge access. They will want this and that. Can I do all of that as a startup? Probably not. So there'll be no value add that I can offer to these customers. I probably need to change the whole customer set. But what if even this customer set did not want a credit card? Do I still keep looking for a customer set? Probably no. I will probably want to change to a different business and start looking at what another problem that can I solve. However, don't let somebody else also tell you that your problem is shit, because until unless they don't really know what you're trying to do. They have not talked to your customers as much as you have. They've not invested so much research. They've not done any hard work on the field to understand what your customers want and need as much as you have. So after you've done your research, and if somebody still shows you that this product probably will not work, and you have concrete proof to say that your customers love that product, your customers are giving you a word of mouth, do not let somebody dissuade you from that. I understand this is a very thin line, because, as I said, do not get lost in your own product, and don't let somebody else tell you that what you're working is crap if you believe in it. So it's a very thin line, and that's really, really important that you establish that line early on.
This is very enlightening, Amit. So, for me also, it's a very great learning. With this, I think we'll close this session here. I hope all the participants learned a lot from Amit, and would definitely, on behalf of Arthayan, AICSK, and all the participants, Amit, I would definitely like to thank you for coming here and being a part of this cohort. And all the participants must have learned a lot from this. And we thank you from our bottom of our heart. Thank you.
Thanks, Kapil. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Yeah, you too. Okay. Amit, we have one more session after this. So if you can just please.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Kapil. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I think we have completed all the sessions. Shaunak, we have any other session now? All the three speakers have completed today. Right. Okay, guys. Thank you for your time today. Tomorrow also we have three speakers, and I have shared the link which contains the schedules because it appears that there was a certain miscommunication. But I have shared, my office has shared the links to all of you about the kind of speakers and the timings. So please stick to that time tomorrow. Okay. So have a nice day. So we'll see you tomorrow.